future and life. Let the light that's within me shine to the whole world, whole world. Light, let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and
Aris,
love.
I see you. Thanks for joining.
Oh, inside, inside, yeah. Inside, inside, bringing hope and make you feel alright.
Good evening.
Rainbow, the promise, the future and life.
Yeah.
Let the light that's within me shine to the whole world, whole world. Light, let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and love. Oh, inside, inside, yeah. Inside, inside, bringing hope and make you feel alright. Rainbow, the promise, the future and life. Let the light that's within me shine to the whole world, whole world. Light,
Sarah Joe, I
let
see
the
you.
dawn of a new
I see you,
day
Kunle.
bring
Welcome.
understanding and love.
Bright 26, I see you.
Inside, inside, yeah.
Please let's share this live to our friends. Happy Thursday to you. I hope you're good. How has your day been? Yeah, I've been sharing it as well to people. Let's share to our friends.
The promise, the future and life. Let the light that's within me shine to the whole world, whole world. Light, let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and love. Oh, inside,
Sylvia, I see you. Thanks for joining. I hope you are good. Watchman, Kelly J, I see you. Good evening. Welcome. I sight you. Please help share this live to your friends. Thank you for liking the live. I see you. Click down on your screen. That's the fastest way. When you click down on your screen for about 2 seconds, some names will pop up. Just send to all of your friends. Let them be part of our talk today, especially your friends that are married or your friends that are engaged, your friends that are going into that marriage relationship. They need to hear this. Friends to all, I see you. I hope you're a friend to Insight with FunmiRoyal. Good evening. How has your day been? Yes, more likes can attract viewers, so let's keep it up. Okay. All right, thanks TikTok for that insight as well. I see you girls. Reb girls, welcome. I hope you're good. How was your Thursday so far? So good? Please help send this live. Help send it. That is all I request. Oh, this person just gave me 1 tap. Wow, how generous. Thank you so much for joining. Today on Inside is marriage talk or relationship talk. If you're in a relationship, so many things we have to talk about. It's not easy to talk about, hence we're here on Inside. Let's talk about those difficult, talks. Let's talk about them here on Inside so that we can learn, so that we can enjoy our marriages. Yeah, that's the whole idea. Please, as you're joining us, help share this live as a way to other people, because I'm going to start with my talk shortly. I'm going to start with my talk as usual, just to put perspective to our topic, my way or the highway. What is your take about that in a relationship, most especially a marriage relationship? Claudia, I see you. Thanks for joining. I hope you're good. Titi Layo, I see you. Thanks for joining. Good evening to you. Good day, wherever you're joining from. When you say good evening, it's evening at my end. I don't know if it's morning where you are or it's even midnight. Who knows? But all the same, thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate that. Even if you're just passing by, it's all right. It's all good. I appreciate you as well. So click down on the screen. Names will pop up. Click send to all of your friends, because I'm going to go into my talk today. Let's treat this topic. Today on Thursday or on Inside, I talk about marriage relationship topics. Those talks that couples shy away from, or people in a relationship, they tend to shy away from. This is the space to do that. Let's talk about these difficult talks so that we can get understanding and then enjoy our marriages, because marriage is meant to be enjoyed and not endured. And if you're not mature enough, please do not go into a marriage relationship until you know you're ready mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, economically, and all of the leads, the positive ones. Anyway, Adam Beats, I see you. Thanks for joining. Yes, marriage is serious business. It's not for boys and girls. As I always say, it's for mature man and mature woman. So let's talk about this issue, this particular one today, my way or the highway. Have you noticed that in any relationship or your relationship, or is this subtle? Sometimes it could be subtle and you can't really see, am I experiencing this? But then let us reflect today. Let us talk about it. Lily, I see you. Thanks for joining. Ifibs or Ifibs, I don't know which one now. But thanks for joining. I see you. Miraculous71, you are welcome. Guys, I'm going to go straight into my talk so that, because it's a bit lengthy, I think, because of time, because I really love to bring us up so that we can share our views about this topic as well. It's a very broad one, and I'm going to cover as much aspect of it as possible, but know that I cannot do it all. That's why I need you. You're going to come into the box when I'm done and kind of expand it some more. How do you understand this? My way or the highway? Do you think is a good thing? Is a good attitude, or it's a good attitude from your loved one? Or are you the one who's always saying my way or the highway? So we're going to look at this today. Like I said, as you're joining, please help share this live to your friends. I really would appreciate that. And thank you, Ima Love, for liking the live already. And TikTok just reminded me, the more people tap to like it, the more other people will be attracted to join us here. I mean, we're here to tell each other the truth, nothing but the truth. And we make it as simple and real as possible so that we can learn, we can live better, we can do better in our relationships. So today's topic is my way or the highway. Okay. To kind of give it like a subtopic so that we still have more understanding, you can say understanding control, flexibility, and growth in a marriage relationship. And when we're talking about marriage relationship here on Insight, it is as God intended for a man and a woman to leave their families and whoever and come together to be husband and wife. A one man, one woman to be husband and wife, and to live happily ever after, or maybe till death do them part, whichever one. But our prayer is that we'll live long and gray and old and enjoy our marriages instead of enduring in our marriages. So like I said, today's topic is my way or the highway. Understanding control, flexibility, and growth in a marriage relationship. So let me bring some sort of introduction to it so we have even a better understanding. So the phrase, John, I see you. Thanks for joining. Ima Love, welcome. My way or the highway. That phrase is often used to describe a very rigid, uncompromising attitude where a person insists on their way without considering other people's perspective or without considering their spouse's perspective about things. So this mindset can be seen in personal relationship, like a marriage relationship. It can be seen in a workplace. This person could be your team leader or your colleague, and they just feel it's always their way or the highway all the time. And maybe you find yourself in a leadership position. You find that you have people in authority over you, and because of that, it's always their way or the highway. And sometimes you can even find this in some faith-based environment, when you have to make decisions. Some would use the word of God to almost blackmail you to say, if you don't do this, it's a highway kind of a thing. So you have different scenarios where you come across this my way or the highway, so to say. So while having strong conviction is valuable, meaning you can be set in your values, in your ways, no qualms about that. But when you're in a marriage relationship, you find out that two values will have to become one. You can't just say it's your value alone and yours to the highway. No, you cannot do that. So insisting on absolute control can lead to conflicts in a marriage relationship. It can even lead to broken marriage relationships, and of course missed opportunities for growth. Because if you think you've arrived, it's only your way or the highway, that means you're not leaving room for growth, because no man knows it all. That's why I'm here. I always say to you, I don't know everything. Even if I take 10 hours to prepare this topic today, I still can't cover every aspect of it, and that's just the truth. That's where you come in to help share your views, to expand our knowledge some more, and we gain insight into this topic. And I know some of us will have to self-reflect. If you're the perpetrator of this is your own slogan, say my way or the highway, in that marriage relationship, how has it paid off? Are you enjoying your relationship? Can your spouse say, oh, I'm enjoying this relationship? Is his way or is her way or the highway, and they're enjoying it? How true is that? So in our talk today, we're going to be exploring the meaning and dangers of a my way or the highway mindset. We're looking at the meaning and dangers of that, and why people adopt this mindset. I can never understand, but people do. It might work for them, it may not work, but let's talk about it. And again, we'll look at the consequences of inflexibility. So whoever is always saying my way or the highway, that means they're not flexible as a person. And can you work with them? Can you be in a married relationship with them? All of those things we're going to be talking about today. And of course, the power of compromise, humility, and wisdom. And then finally, we'll look at how to balance strong convictions with open-mindedness. All of this, I'll try as much as possible to break down for us so we have a better understanding and we can check our marriage relationship, our courtship relationship, whatever relationship you're in. Check. Because this is a red flag as far as I'm concerned. So if you're still courting, you're getting to know each other, you're planning for that wedding, check. Is it his way or the highway? Or is it her way or the highway? These are things you need to flag and talk about. And then you might have to make one or two decisions. Who knows? Lady Bev, I see you. Nurse Ajayi, I see you. Thank you for joining. I see you. Fellow Ming, I think. Thanks for joining. So I'm going to go into the talk deeper and deeper so we have a better understanding. So we need to understand the my way or the highway mindset. This mindset is characterized by an unwillingness to listen, to negotiate, or to even consider alternatives. Because if you say my way or the highway, that means anything you say is perfect. Anything you say goes. Anything you say is it is so to say. So this person or whoever have such attitude, they're not ready to negotiate, they're not ready to listen, they will be unwilling to listen to anything, they will not even consider any alternative because it's always their way and they're always right. Let's see. So in order to understand better, let us look at the characteristics of this kind of attitude. Someone whose attitude is my way or the highway in a marriage relationship, guys. I don't know how that can work. So one of their characteristics is unwillingness to accept any feedback or any correction. Oh my, you dare not correct them for anything at all, because their way is the way, always the way. And such a person, they have an authoritarian approach to leadership or relationship. They must be in control. They have to be in charge in the decision making. Adegbenga, I see you. Good evening. I hope you're good. It always have to be their way. These people also, one of their traits is they're quick to dismiss any opposing views. Even if they sit down to talk, they're not ready to listen because their mind is made up. This is it. It has to be this way, their way, or the highway. You know, they don't want to hear any opposing viewpoints. And these people, if you don't support them in their own viewpoint, there will be trouble. I tell you, there will be trouble. Again, such people, they lack empathy for other people's needs or feelings. It's like, okay, when you finish crying, we're still gonna do it my way. And it's like they don't have any empathy at all. They don't even care about your needs. They don't care about your viewpoints. Okay, have you said your piece? Okay, it's still gonna be my way. Imagine that. How bossy. Okay, so where do we see this attitude? Like I said, I know today we'll talk about marriage talks, but like I said, I love for us to kind of self-reflect, check your relationships, all the relationships you have, even aside your married relationship, to see where can you see this kind of attitude. What kind of, in what relationship could it be? Work, colleagues and family, or whoever? Check, because you never can tell, and these things kind of rub off on us in a negative way. So you can experience this attitude of my way or the highway in your personal relationship, hence in your marriage relationship, where one partner or maybe a friend cannot dominate, leaving room for no compromise at all. You cannot even sit down and have a chat with them to reason together and, lay your points, I lay my points, and then we'll come to a conclusion or a compromise. No, they will not have it. So imagine a husband and wife, they sit down and there's a particular thing they need to attend to, and they want to sit down and look at ways out or how to approach whatever the challenge is. And the man is saying, okay, this is what I see. And the woman is like, oh, I get you, but how about this and that? And they're rubbing minds, and the man said, no. Or the man said, no. I always think faster on my feet or whatever than you, and they just, no, I'm my husband, no, it has to be this way. And sometimes it may come subtle, which you just feel, okay, you're right, let's just do it. And then you find out that this is their attitude all the time, 24/7. It gets so overwhelming, and you just feel left out in whatever decision you're making as a couple, and this is not going to bring good friendship in that relationship. So you can notice that in your personal relationship, where one person tries to dominate the other and not even leaving any room to compromise. Erica, I see you, welcome. And like I said, you can experience that in a workplace, just adding a bit of extra so that we can check our relationships, all of our relationships, and sight and try to see, am I experiencing that here or here? And make amends if possible. So if you're experiencing that in a workplace, it could be a boss or a leader insisting on their way and making employees feel unheard or undervalued. Good evening, Mila for Christ. Oh, Mila, how are you? Good to see you here. I hope you're good. It's been a while. And again, you can experience my way or the highway when you're talking about parenting. So a parent enforces strict rules without understanding their child's need. It's like, this is how I was brought up, and I'm all the good for it. I will bring you up the same way, and nobody can tell me anything. It's my way or the highway kind of a thing. And you can't really do that with your children, because you're not your children are not you. When you were a teenager, a young person, there were certain things you struggled with. Maybe your parents really didn't support you as they ought to, but that does not mean you do the same to your child. you have to be the better person or the bigger person now and do things differently. So sometimes my way or the highway can come when you're talking about parenting your children. And again, in your faith and morality as well, some may refuse to engage in discussions, believing that they alone have the correct interpretation of the truth. So it's their way or the highway. Even when you bring your Bible, your Quran, and you try to say, this is what the Bible says, it says this and that, they will still tell you, you're looking at it wrong, in the wrong way. This is what it exactly means. And they might even lead you to other passage of the Bible. You almost be confused. At the end of the day, you just keep quiet. It's their way or the highway. So this mindset can stem from deep-seated fears, really. Personal experiences, like I said, a mention of that of the parent, or even some cultural influences. Some cultural influence will say that you're the man. Whatever you say goes in your house. No, don't let me start with my drama today, but I think you get what I'm trying to say. Some culture promote more of the husband or the man than the woman. So in that culture, whatever the man says goes, even if it's at the detriment of their happiness or their joy in that marriage. As long as it's the man, anything he says goes, the wife dare not question it. That is usually what is out there, really, because I'm not sure, there might be where the reverse is the case, where it's whatever the woman says the man would have to do. Some culture may be like that, but I don't know, so don't quote me. So why do people adopt this mindset? I mean, for everything we do, there's something behind it. There's some sort of foundation there. Whether we check it or not is another thing altogether. So why do people adopt this mindset of my way or the highway? Why do you think so? It could be fear of losing control. So some people equate flexibility with weakness. They feel if they compromise with you, it means they're weak. So they've got pride and ego, so they don't want to lose control of that situation. And they just tell you, look, it's my way or the highway. And sometimes these people, they fear that compromise will make them vulnerable. Because, I mean, that's just one scenario you're trying to deal with. There'll be other scenarios or issues. And if they should compromise this one, they feel they'll lose control even in the future as well. And where does that leave them? It doesn't leave them with the control power, so to say. But when you're talking of marriage relationship, you and I know that it's a partnership relationship. You have to sit and talk about things, and together you will unite in your decision and then take action together. You know, it's not one person. Sometimes, yeah, certain things might still boil down maybe to the husband or even to the wife. It depends on whatever it is. But do not look at compromising as weakness. No, you want peace in your home, don't you? You will have to learn to compromise. And again, why do people, say my way or the highway? It could be because of past experiences. So if someone has been betrayed before, nobody's telling them nonsense. No, I'm doing it my way or the highway, So if someone has been betrayed before, if someone has been manipulated before, or they felt dismissed in the past, they may develop a very defensive, rigid stance to protect themselves. So it could be as a result of an experience. But I believe strongly that experiences are meant to be teachers, to teach us to do better, and not to teach us to be more mean to other people because they dismiss me. I will dismiss anyone that come my way or the highway. You want to give an eye for an eye, or how do they say it? Please be mindful. And another reason why people say my way or the highway is because of pride and ego. What else would it be? Pride and ego. An inflated sense of self-importance can lead people to believe they are always right, making them unwilling to listen to their spouse because of pride and ego. I don't want to attribute this to a man or to men, because women too, they have their pride and ego, and this can interfere with their relationship. And they might say, my husband is my way or the highway. And because maybe the man just wants peace, you say, okay, your way. Anyway, let's just have it your way. And then if anything happens, those are the people that will still come and justify why it went wrong. It wasn't their fault, but it went wrong because blah blah. They will always find a way to justify it. So pride and ego can make someone to say my way or the highway. I see you, Fumexo. I see you. Thanks for joining. Again, lack of emotional intelligence. You know, like I said, marriage relationship is for mature man, mature woman. You have to be intelligent enough because marriage is another institution of learning by itself. So some individuals struggle with empathy and understanding, and this makes it hard for them to value differing opinion. If their spouse comes with a different opinion other than their one, there will be problem, you know. And they just don't have that emotional intelligence to know that two is better than one idea, two ideas. I mean guys. So that can make people always have that attitude of my way or the highway. And another influence that I mentioned, just to expand it a bit, is the cultural or the upbringing influence. Life has dealt with you, the way your parents has dealt with you. You just feel, in fact, when I grow up, nobody will tell me anything. I'm just gonna do this and do that. And now you're in a relationship, you still carry that mindset. My way or the highway. I suffered growing up. They always tell me to do this, da. Now I'm not even gonna. Nobody is either my way or the highway. And these people sometimes will change from one relationship to another with that attitude, and they don't realize that they have issues they need to deal with. Because you're going into a partnership relationship with that attitude of my way or the highway, your partner will not find that funny. They want to contribute to that relationship as well. Why should you be the sole decision maker in that relationship? You're not in the relationship with yourself. Do you understand? So that person is in there. They have something to contribute to that relationship's growth. And if you don't let them, they will not be happy, and they might not just tie the knot with you. So don't let cultural or your upbringing influence you to have that attitude. Some cultures and family, they have strong leadership that is associated with very strict, non-negotiable decisions, and this is reinforcing a controlling mindset. And now they're in their own home with their spouses, and they feel, oh, daddy used to tell mommy, sit there or don't do this, and she just quietly just sit there and she will not do that. And then you want to King Drastic. I see you. Good evening to you. Welcome. One love. Welcome to Inside. So you can imagine, and because of that way of life, you want to do the same with your spouse, and they're not gonna have it. Maybe you've even hidden it whilst you were courting them, and now you're married, and it's like, one time your wife comes, oh, we have to decide to do this, and you say, no, don't worry, we're gonna do it this way. I said, no, we have to talk about it. I feel, no, I said no, my way or the highway. I bet your wife will look at you differently, or your husband will look at you, oh my goodness, who is this person I'm married to? You're going to shock them. Thank you. Oh, you missed Inside. We missed you too. Thanks for joining us. So while all of these reasons and so many more are understandable, they should not be excuses for inflexible behavior in that marriage relationship. Look, you will drive your spouse to the walls if you keep that attitude up. One day they might just reach their breaking point, and then this is where you have separation coming or divorce coming, because it's like, this my spouse is just so hard to live with. It's always what they say, and most times we get in trouble. They don't even want to hear anybody, and they're complaining, and you're still with that pride and ego, like, well, when you finish your lamentation, you know we're still going to do it my way. Oh, thank you, A13. You're welcome. It's amazing what goes on in a marriage relationship. My goodness. That's why I always say one cap does not fit all. One cap does not fit all. You have to find what works for you. But I tell you, there's some general attitude that no matter that relationship, if you bring such attitude into that relationship, it's not going to work. And that's just the truth. So let us look at the consequences of my way or the highway. I don't know why I keep doing that, but I guess it's making it flow. Consequences of my way or the highway approach. Thank you so much for liking the live. At least that will attract other people to be part of Insight today. So being rigid and controlling, it may seem like a position of strength to them, I guess, but it often leads to negative consequences. I'm telling you, There's only so much your partner can take when you have such attitude. Yes, the consequences is broken relationship. People resist controlling behavior and may distance themselves from someone who refuses to listen or compromise. When your spouse just had it, when you're talking, they're not even going to respond. They're not even going to contribute anymore because they know what you're going to do is inside of you, as they say. You know what you're going to do. So you talking to them is just like, what's it, time wasting, because they will not contribute anything meaningful to that conversation because they know what you're going to do. You already made up your mind already. So why just look for words from them? You just want them to talk for talking's sake. No, if you're not going to compromise or listen, what's the point of having that discussion? So the consequence is a broken relationship. Couples separate. Sometimes it might lead to divorce. You and I have heard of cases where they say irreconcilable differences and all. This is as a result, my way or the highway. Nobody's ready to negotiate, compromise, and then they go their separate ways after building for so many years. It's so sad when you hear couples who have been together for like 40 years separating or divorcing. That's a waste of a lifetime, guys. I don't know how you see it, but I see that as a waste of a lifetime. Oh my goodness. Again, another consequences is missed opportunities for growth. Look, husband learn from wife learn from husband. Even husband and wife will learn from their children. There shouldn't be any pride in learning. I don't know it all. I always say that here. I learn from my children. I learn from my husband. I learn from strangers. I learn from colleagues, from people. I don't know it all. And sometimes some little things that everybody thinks that everybody knows, you find out you don't have a clue. And then you're willing to learn. Fine, they may laugh at you that you should know this. But I don't know. There's no point. There's no shame in that. I don't know, so I want to know. So if you have the attitude of my way or the highway, you're going to miss opportunities for growth. A closed mind blocks learning because you're not going to learn because you feel your way is always right, perfect, and all of that. You're not going to be open to new perspective and, of course, valuable experiences. You're going to miss out on that. Why would you want to? Even if you're not married, you're supposed to be growing in your daily life. How much more you're in a relationship with that man, with that woman, and then you don't want them to contribute somewhat positive to your life. You have to contribute to each other's growth. There's a place for individual growth and there's a place for family growth where you cannot grow in certain areas without the input of your husband or your spouse or your wife. You know, so be mindful because otherwise you will miss so many opportunities to grow, to learn, to be better than your today's self. And again, another consequence is resentment and resistance. I mean, guys, pause and think for a second. I'm in a relationship. I want to contribute my own quota to that relationship, but all I get is my way or the highway. My way. After a while, I might start feeling resentment towards that person. So those who feel unheard or forced to comply often harbor resentment. It may start subtly. You just feel like you just can't stand them. Or maybe when there's a conversation, you do not want to be around them because they're not listening. It's just their way all the time. And this can build resentment within you for your spouse. Yes, I was talking about marriage relationship today. And this can lead to hidden rebellion and disengagement. In fact, it would be so bad that your so-called my way or the highway spouse or partner might say, well, let's go out, and you don't want to go because you feel one day this person will come and say, where do you want us to go have dinner? But no, they never. They're like, we're going to this place for dinner all the time. And maybe there's this new restaurant you wanted to try out with your spouse, but you've said it whichever way, like, oh, there's this new place. Oh, don't worry, we'll go later. Let's go to this place. And it's like, why is it all the time you choose where we go to? I want to, do something. I want to take you to some place. You'll be like, don't worry, another time. Another time never comes. 10 years on, you're still doing my way. Resentment will build up. It's just a matter of time. I see you, Mike. Thanks for joining. Non-Jabu something. It's just gone off. I see you as well. Valdima, you are welcome. I see you. Those are the consequences. You don't want your spouse to start resenting you because it will affect other aspects of your marriage. And then again, poor leadership and decision making. Those are the consequences, because you find out it's always your way, your way, your way, and then most of the time it gets you guys into trouble, and then you still wouldn't even own up to it. You will find an excuse to say your way didn't work because it's your fault or something, still blame your spouse for it. So leaders who refuse feedback, or husbands and wife who refuse feedbacks, often make poor choices. Whether you see it or not, you will make poor choices because you're not open to growth, you're not open to others' perspective, and this can lead to dissatisfaction and even low morale in that relationship. You don't want your spouse to be sad all the time. Don't, as one of us would say here, Leslie, shout out to you if you're not here yet. He would say, even if I can't make my wife happy, let me not be the cause or the reason why she's sad. And imagine if your spouse is sad all the time, they don't want to be near you because they can't even put a word in. It's always your way, or the highway all the time. They will get tired. Maybe at the onset, yeah, I'm in love. Whatever you say goes, oh, I'm in love. After a while, you will start balancing love and reality. And then you know that, that decision you took the last time, I should have said something. But why didn't you say something? Anyway, it's too late now. And then the next time comes, you'll be like, no, we're doing it my way. And I'm trying to tell you now that I want to contribute to this. But if you do it that way, what of this? So no, I've thought about it. It will happen this way. And there you go. You shut them down. Brush them aside again. So that means you're a poor leader in that relationship, or you're not showing good example to your spouse or even your children, because these things will rub off on the children as well. Certain attitudes we do not want to bring into our marriages. It will not just affect our spouses, it can affect our children as well. Another consequence is spiritual and personal stagnation. Hey, you feel you have read the Bible 21 times back to back. You can't tell me anything. What do you want to tell me that I don't know? I've read it before. In fact, I came across this video, was it 2 days ago on Instagram? And this guy was, he was pretending to be like a preacher. And then he said, let's open the Bible to, he called the verse. And then the verse was put on the screen. And there was this name, he could not even pronounce. Even I'm like, I've read the Bible. I can't even remember coming across this name. Because there are certain things, even if you read the Bible 100 times, another time you pick it up to read again, you find out that there's some new thing you're discovering. His words are new. So if you don't have an open heart, you will not see the newness in that same Bible when you pick it up to read again. So sometimes consequences of that, my way or the highway, is stagnation in your spiritual growth, because nobody can teach you the word of God because you know it all. Hey, you've read it a million times. What do you want to tell me? The time I started reading Bible, you were not even born. And oh my goodness, please. Without openness to correction and new insights, a person can remain stuck in unhealthy patterns. And sometimes these people know about it, that this is their attitude. Sometimes some people don't have a clue. It's just their attitude. Maybe that's the way they grew up. They've always had their way. Nobody questions them and all. So they don't even see, it's like, it's part of them. They don't even see it. And now here is this wifey, this husband telling me, no, we have to compromise. We have to, what are you talking about? No, in this particular case, my way or the highway. I hope that relationship will last. So be mindful that you don't get stuck in those unhealthy pattern or way of life. So recognizing these consequences, and like I said, there's so many more, but I'll just limit it there because of time. Recognizing these consequences should motivate us to seek a better approach to leadership, relationship, and decision making. Like I said, it could be even a colleague at work. I'm just going a little bit beyond marriage relationship today, just so that you know these things can happen in so many area of our life. So it's not just in marriage alone, but our focus today obviously is marriage. So let's pay attention. How are we as wives? How are we as husbands Do we give demand? Are we controlling in that regard? Do we have that attitude is my way or the highway? Or we're like, no, let's sit down, talk about this. My dear, I hear you and I know you've heard me. But at this rate, for us to make tangible decision now, we have to compromise. Let's look at it. How can we compromise so that this will be a joint decision? Not that I've heard you. Yeah, I'm sure you heard me too. And I mean, if you're intelligent enough, you know that my way is the solution. And you even put some sort of insult in there. If you're intelligent enough, I mean, if you really think deep about it, meaning what, But all the same, we need to be mindful because there are some consequences we will even shy away from. We don't want to talk about when you have such attitude of my way or the highway. So let's look at the power of compromise, humility, and wisdom. We're driving it home now. So it's not just mentioning those consequences or how or why people have that attitude, but let us look at way out in a way. How can we do this so that we can enjoy our marriage relationship? Look, that institution called marriage, if you're not ready, I always say, if you're not ready, do not go into it because you'll meet things that you don't even bargain for. Rather than insisting on absolute control, which is my way all the time, please be mindful. A better approach is collaborative in your leadership, with humility, with wisdom. Even if you think your way is the way, still give respect to whoever you're discussing with. Hear them, and not just hear them, listen to what they're saying. It might just be better than your way. You never can tell. But because your mind is not even open to hearing them, I mean, how can you even think that wisdom? Where is it coming from? As a believer, I'm just going to point out a few bits of the Bible. I was referring to the Bible earlier on that talks about humility, wisdom, and the likes. I always say, I can quote anywhere, but I always love to quote from my Bible because I believe strongly in these words. So when you're talking about the power of compromise, humility, and wisdom to counter this my way or the highway, I will refer to the Bible. And there is always strength in listening, guys. If you have that attitude of my way or the highway, there is strength in listening to other people, your wife, your colleague, whoever it is. My Bible says in Proverbs 18 verse 2, says, a fool has no delight in understanding. What does that mean in a nutshell? If you don't delight in understanding other people, it just means you're a fool. I'm not calling anyone a fool. This is what my Bible is saying. Say, but in expressing his own heart, let whoever you're with, your husband, your wife, let them express their heart. Even if you're going to say, oh, we're still doing it my way, give reasons. Let your spouse understand the reason why we're doing it your way. There's no harm. At some point, we have to do it one way or another. So even if you're going to decide to do it in a particular way, if it's all your way, you have to let your spouse see reason so that they don't feel slighted or they don't feel neglected in their decision, in that decision making. Listening allows for wisdom because no one person knows it all. That's why you have your wife to compliment you, and that's why you have your husband to compliment you. Where your shortcoming is, that's where your spouse feel. If they feel that space, they feel that shortcomings, and that's how it's supposed to be. So together you grow in harmony, in love, in understanding, not in my way or the highway. So listening allows for wisdom. You learn from other people. You have more wisdom. You gain more knowledge as well. It brings deeper connections and better decision making. In fact, if you do it well enough, it becomes part of you. Even if you're expected to make certain decisions, you will call your wife, you will call your husband quickly. My dear, I have to make this decision. I need your input. It means you have an open heart to receiving their contribution as well. And again, the importance of compromise. There is no how you'll be in a marriage relationship and you say you cannot compromise. It always has to be your way. There will be problem in that marriage. Trust me, there will be. You cannot do it alone. It's not a marriage to yourself. It's a marriage to this person, to this man, to this woman. And two has become one. How can two become one when they don't see eye to eye, or when they can't even make simple compromise about certain decision or whatever? So it's very important that couple learn to compromise rather than saying it's my way all the time. So compromise, I say here, is not weakness. I don't know, this our mind, it plays tricks on us, I guess. Compromising with your spouse is not a sign of weakness. In fact, it's a sign of strength, meaning you depend on them as much as they depend on you. So it's a sign of emotional maturity and respect, rather than feel if I compromise, they'll see me as weak. No, they'll just see you as someone who is mature emotionally, someone who is respectful even of their own views. And again, if you look at Philippians chapter 2, verse 3 and 4, it says, let nothing be done through selfish ambition or conceit. Because sometimes your way might just be selfish because you're not considering other people in that decision or whatever you're doing. And it says, but in lowliness of mind, let each esteem others better than himself. Let each esteem the other person better than himself. Meaning, you're not perfect. Hello? I am not perfect. My husband is not perfect. But together we bring our imperfection and try to build something perfect. God helping us. So please be mindful. Do not do my highway or the highway with selfish ambition or conceit. It's not going to last. It's not going to prolong it's not going to give your marriage that longevity you're praying and hoping for. And again, practicing humility. Let's be humble. Now you're married to this person. Sometimes, like I said, this mindset, some of you now have conquered this person. Now they are in my net. I do with them whatever I wish or whatever I like and all of that. No, we still have to humble ourselves to our spouses. The Bible says in James 4:6, God resists the proud but gives grace to the humble. You really want to enjoy that marriage, you have to humble yourself. Don't just feel your way all the time is the way. No, what happens when it goes wrong? Who's going to bear the consequence? Both of you will. So humility allows room for learning, it allows room for correction, and of course a healthier relationship with your spouse. Again, your faith, I feel our faith plays a huge role. Seek God's wisdom, because if you're going to say my way all the time, can you say that actually, oh, God guided me to doing it this way, so my dear, please let's just try it this way. Let's see how God will see us through, because he showed me this way that we should do it. So you have to trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding, because so there's a way that seems right to a man, but the end thereof is destruction. So sometimes you may, even as a man, you might be struggling making that decision. You need the input of your wife. So why are you pushing them away? Why are you rejecting their contribution or their input? So be mindful. Relying on God's wisdom rather than insisting on your way can lead to better outcomes. Or even relying on your spouse as well to be part of that process, so that it's not just your way all the time. Let them be part of your way and you be part of their way, so that way you have the ultimate way out of whatever it is. God helping us. By replacing control with wisdom and humility, we can build stronger and healthier relationship, stronger and healthier marriage, and we'll pass this on to our children. And they are growing, very strong in faith, very strong, and they're ready for relationship because we've taught them well. They've learned from the best. So let's be mindful. If this is our attitude, my way or the highway, maybe you should be humble for a change and see how far you will go in your marriage relationship. Again, how to balance that strong conviction with open-mindedness. Like I said, some people, it could be their experience in life. They've been so flexible and it always got them into trouble. Now they just want to be firm. I know my onions. I know this and that. So they're not open to any other perspective. They're just set in their ways. But it's good to have your opinion. It's good to have your values, your principles. But you know that you can always learn to enhance whatever value or principle that you have already. So you can't really say, oh no, my mind is closed to any openness or whatever. No, it is possible to have firm beliefs while still respecting others and being open to learning. You'll be better for it anyways. So let's have that open mind and not just say all the time, my way all the time. Your spouse will get tired one day and they might just walk out, and you don't want that. And then you're wondering, nothing has happened, and people are asking you, why did your husband walk out on you? You be like, I don't even know, there's nothing, no, but they don't know the atrocities you've committed over the years. So let it not get to that place where it explodes. I believe couples should sit down from time to time and reevaluate their relationship, their values, where they're at, and things like that. Ask your spouse, do you think I'm a good wife to you? Do you think I'm a good husband to you? You're not saying that to condemn anyone, but because you want to be better. So have such conversations. Know your core values, no doubt about it. Stand firm on principles that align with the truth and integrity while remaining flexible on lesser issues. So sometimes you might have to, this compromise still comes in again. Fine, this is the principle you've adopted over the years and it's always worked for you. Hooray! Good. But is that all to it? You cannot do better than that? Think about it. Somebody has come to enhance what you have already. Do not shut it down because you think, sometimes it's, like I said, it's fear, really, like fear of rejection or fear of being looked down on. No, please. That's just pride and ego talking or thinking. Again, learn to communicate effectively. Like I said, even if it's going to be your way, how have you presented it to your wife? How have you presented it to your husband? So instead of demanding, invite them to discuss certain things. Even if it's the man that's going to take the ultimate decision, have you discussed with your spouse that will lead to that ultimate decision you're going to make? Because you're not, like I said, you're not in that relationship with yourself. Somebody else is involved, and allow them to contribute to that relationship. So learn to communicate effectively. Use statements like, I believe this because, instead of, this is the only right way, my way or the highway. Leslie, good evening. Oh, thank you for the heart to me. Guys, please, thank you so much for tapping already, but let's keep tapping so that others can come. And TikTok really advised us to say this, so I'm saying it. Please, let's keep tapping. I'm going to bring us up shortly, but I'll just finish with my talk today. So let's learn to communicate effectively. Try to convince your spouse that this way might just be the best way. Don't come demanding like, this is the only right way, my way or the highway. No. And again, embrace feedback and correction. Somebody with such attitude of my way, they don't want to hear any feedback. They don't even want to be corrected because they believe in their mind that they're always right. So you can imagine, the Bible even mentioned somebody like that. You've missed the talk. Can you imagine? Well, maybe if you stay put now. Thank you, Aderonke, for the heart to me. You might just understand where I'm coming from with this topic. The title is, for those just joining in, My Way or the Highway. And you know, on Thursday, we talk about marriage relationship talks, issues that husband and wife may find difficult to talk about. I said, let's open that door here on Insight. And then when you see how subtle we get or how insightful we get, you and your spouse can sit at home in your comfort zone and talk about it more amicably, more lovingly. Okay. All right, Leslie. Please go and chop all the onion you want to chop now. Come and sit down. Tell Mrs. that, please, the sister needs right now. I need you. I'm just kidding. Anyways. So if you don't embrace feedback or correction, what does that make you? I'll tell you what my Bible says. It says in Proverbs 12:15, the way of the fool is right in his own eyes, but he who heeds counsel is wise. I don't want to be a fool. Oh, why? Oh, really? I didn't see that. So guys, I didn't catch the message that came on my screen. If for anything I go offline, I'm going to come back. Yeah, I will come back. I just missed that bit. I don't know what it says, but it's okay. We're good so far. Please, Leslie, if you can hear me, let me see a thumbs up, because You just flash whatever in front of me right now. Let me see a thumbs up, please. Or anyone out there, just give me a thumbs up so that I can carry on. Then I know we're still together. Oh, all these messages. Oh, am I still on? Yes, okay. Okay, thank you. I didn't care of Kent. Okay, thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Yeah. I just did my clap now. It's not coming out. You hear me clap? I think they're taking away some things. Okay, I'll leave it. When I'm ready, I'll try again. Okay, thank you, guys. Thank you for that. So let me just carry on. I'm rounding up very soon. We're talking about how to balance, those strong convictions that you have with open-mindedness. You're hearing the clap, but I can't hear it. Ah, okay. It is well. It is well. It is well. So the Bible says it's only a fool that feels right in their own eyes. I don't want my husband to look at me as a fool because I keep saying my way all the time. So I want him to see me like a wise woman. So I'll be like, my dear, what do you think about this? Let's talk about it. We'll rub minds together and then we'll decide. So being open to constructive criticisms can lead to growth. I want to grow. Like we always tell each other that this is not the me you married though. In fact, this package now, hey, we just tease and all that because we've grown over the years. I mean, for 26 years, imagine. I've grown and I'm still growing. We're still growing by the grace of God. So allow others to have a voice. Allow your spouse to have a voice. Allow your friends, to have a voice where that relationship is concerned. Like I said, I'm just kind of expanding it to other relationships we may have, but our focus still is on marriage. So whether in your marriage relationship or your leadership relationship, whatever, or even your faith, valuing others' opinion fosters mutual respect. If my husband says, come my dear, I want to do this, or I can't do anything behind you, what do you think about this? Even if it's something that he wants to do and he's like, let me rub minds with my wife, what's your take about this? It shows that he respects me as a person. Forget the fact that I'm the wife. I mean, as a person, it shows that this person respects me enough to, seek my opinion. What do I think of this? So always allow others to have a voice. Never say my way or the highway. Imagine him coming and saying, I want to do this. And maybe just say, what do you think? Well, never mind, don't worry, I'm going to do this. I'm just going to do this. And I'm wondering, wow, on earth would you for me to come and have a conversation? And yet, I'll be wondering. And yeah, okay, one time it's okay. And then it becomes a habit, a way of life. I'm like, I have to reconsider. And I can't even tell you this is what you're doing. And they still feel it's their way, always right, and always their way, and things like that. No. Allow whoever you're in that relationship with to have a voice. Let them say what they feel. You never can tell. Like I say, even sometimes a child, I remember this child gave me this quote. Something has to do with teamwork and dream, or so I can't remember the quote. I'm like, this child, I had to write it. I wrote it, I think it's on my table somewhere. I'm like, wow. And that got me thinking for a couple of days. I'm like, maybe this child heard it from a grown-up because this child cannot say this. But it got me thinking, the dream team get the dream done or something. I can't remember. I mean, it got me thinking. That's like a 5-year-old child. So you can imagine, we learn how much more your spouse, who's an adult, even if you think they know nothing, even if you think your spouse is not educated, still hear what they have to say. Don't shun them because they might just be your saving grace, And again, trust that you don't have all the answers. I always say, this one, my hands are up. I don't have all the answers. Even if I share all of my life experiences with you guys, I will still not have teamwork makes the dream work. There you go. See, I don't know this clap. Okay, since you say you can hear it, let me, oops, what is that? Oh no, let me see. Sound effect. Let's see whether it will work. Yeah, teamwork makes the dream work. Can you imagine? I'm like, have I heard this before? And I was just thinking, pondering on it. That's true. Teamwork makes the dream work. Teamwork, the point. You and your husband, team. So that dream can actually work. Hearing the clap, hey, there's always something, but it is well. As long as you guys hear it, it's fine. It's amazing. It's amazing. How can you think that you have all the answers when you're not God? Are you Alpha and Omega? I wonder. Anyway, wisdom comes from recognizing that no one knows everything. I always say it here, I don't know it all. That's why I need you guys. Come and share your experience as I share mine. That way we rub minds together and our experiences become fuller, and we grow and we make amends and we enjoy our marriages. Yes. So seeking counsel counsel and being willing to adapt is a strength. Like I said, don't see it as a weakness when you hear what others have to say or your spouse have to say. Always see this as part of something that strengthens you. And if they're not there, imagine some people, sometimes we take each other for granted, and then the time comes they're not there anymore, and you want to make decisions, you're like, that your way or the highway is now not working, and you now need someone to sit down and think through things and discuss, and they're gone. May we not find ourselves in that situation. So by finding a balance, we can be confident without being controlling, guys, and assertive without being authoritarian. Because I'm not going into politics. Why would the politics come and make me be miserable in my house? Who is the authority that is authoritarian in my life, so to say? So compromise will have to come in. It's never going to be always your way, or the highway. You don't want to break your spouse with this attitude, so be careful. I'm going to be rounding off now, so I'll say to us, choosing a better way. The my way or the highway mentality is a dangerous approach that can lead to broken marriage relationship. It can lead to missed opportunities and even personal stagnation, because you think you know it all, you're not even growing anymore, you're not learning anymore, and all of that. How do you want to live life as a human, like that? So while confidence is, in one's belief is good, it's good to believe in yourself and all that, it must be coupled with humility, wisdom, and respect for your spouse, respect for your husband, respect for your wife, even the children. Like I said, we learn from one another. No man is entirely an island of knowledge. No, even professors, they're still learning. They want to know more about certain things, and the fact that they are specialized in one aspect, how about the other million aspects of life? They might know much or few bits about it, so that means they're not all that knowledgeable, so to say. They might be specialized in whatever thing or whatever aspect, or how about the other aspects as well? So if you're just joining, like some people that I know, one thing that I want us, or so many things here I want us to take home, I'm just going to highlight them for the sake of those who may have missed the talk from the beginning. Fidelity, I see you, thanks for joining. Single, I see you, thanks for joining. So our take home is to know that rigid control leads to brokenness. You don't want to break your spouse, while wisdom leads to growth. When you come together with your spouse, make decisions, you find that you grow in each other. And sometimes when your spouse is not there, you can actually tell, if you had that discussion with them, you can actually hear the voice in your head, like this is what they will say. Do you understand? And if you have not allowed that space, how would you think that way? I think I know my spouse might say this. Okay, let's hear them. And they say exactly that. And you're like, yes, I know you. Oh no, you're my person now, kind of a thing. So that's one thing I want you to take home. Another thing is humility allows us to learn, to adapt, and build stronger relationship, our marriage relationship. Imagine any decision like this, you're calling your wife, calling your husband. They feel like this person really values me. They respect you, respect themselves even. So, but imagine you're so proud, like it's your way or the highway and all. Even when you call this person to come and discuss, they say, what's the point? It's always your way. So why are you calling me to come and discuss this, And you don't want your spouse to have such attitude towards you. So compromise is not weakness, like I said. To those who missed that, compromise is not weakness. It is a path to mutual understanding. It means you're even strong. You don't depend on your own decisions alone. You need this person to make the best decision. So when you're compromising, even if it's friends that say, you're too soft, you're too this, don't mind them. because I bet they are compromising with their own spouse in their own home and just trying to mislead you. So be careful the people you surround yourself with. And again, in terms of leadership, like maybe in that marriage relationship, true leadership and influence come from listening, not dictating. Of course, the man is the head of the home, conventional, like God intended, he's the leader, he's the head. So, but always listen to your wife. Don't be a dictator, a dictating husband or dictating wife, and then they're so afraid to come share views with you or to come and rub minds with you because they know your way is always the way and things like that. It's not going to promote happiness or joy in that marriage relationship. And again, the last thing to take home is God's wisdom for believers. And even if you're not a believer, God created you. God created that marriage institution. God's wisdom surpasses human understanding. So best seek God to guide you. If you're going to come out to beat your chest to say, my way, let it be that God has given you that way. God has given you that way. And even in that, you still have to include your spouse. You might say, my dear, that thing we've been pondering on, or that thing I've been thinking about, this is what God showed to me. Share it with your spouse and let them see, let them reason with you, let them see. And God is not an author of confusion, by the ways. Your spouse will see. It will see for what that decision is. Your spouse will see, except is come from a place of what is it called, selfishness. It will be obvious as well. Lizzie, I see you. Thank you so much for joining. So as we navigate life, our marriage relationship, let us choose wisdom over control. Why do you want to control? Why do you feel the need to control your spouse? Live in humility rather than pride, and work collaboratively rather than dominating your spouse. Work together to building that marriage relationship. That is the best way to building that home. So instead of saying my way or the highway, let us strive to say, let's seek the best way together. Let's seek the best way together instead of saying my way or the highway. My final thought for us tonight is, true strength is not in forcing others to follow, but in leading with wisdom, with love, and with humility. That way, husbands and wife will enjoy their marriages, their relationship, for as long as they're both in that marriage relationship. I rest my case. But my question for us tonight is, if not my way or the highway, then it means I am weak. Do you think this is true? If I don't do my way or the highway, it means I'm a weak person. Do you think this is true? Thank you guys for listening. Zibo, I see you. Kathleen, I see you. All around me. Yes, guys. That is my own talk for today. I hope I've been able to expand it for us to have a better understanding. Please send an invite. Let's come into the box. Let us talk some more about this, because as maybe subtle or as simple as it sounds, this topic, my way or the highway, has broken up marriage relationships, because the spouse just said, you know what, I can't do this anymore. I can't deal. I've taken this for so many years and this person is not compromising. This person is not meeting me halfway. I am tired, and every time we always get in trouble, and then they just separate or go their separate ways. This topic breaks homes. That's why I said let's talk about it here on Insight. Let us, do better. It's always hard for such people with such attitude. They don't want to hear the truth about how they're dealing with their spouse or treating their spouses. And then when their spouse give them some sort of feedback, they'll be like, you're talking about something else. I don't have that attitude. I know you're still doing the same thing. So we need to be mindful. It takes a lot of self-reflection to even admit you have these attributes in you. And now imagine your loved one telling you that, You can do better. This your attitude of my way or the highway. I'm tired of it. And they're even trying to open up to tell you this is how they feel you've been treating them, and you're not still listening. Your marriage is not gonna last. It's just a matter of time. It's like a, let me not say all this metaphors and what have you, but you get my drift anyways. So send me an invite. Let me hear your views about this. Do you think if I don't do my way or the highway, I'm a weak person? Do you think that? Or what is your take about this topic? If you think, oh no, there's nothing to it, no, I don't think couples are fine even if they have this attribute or attitude. I want to hear from you. Perhaps maybe we can do our puzzle at some point later today. Otherwise, we'll see how far we go. So guys, send me an invite. Let's talk about this some more, because we have to learn. We need to learn from one another so that we can enjoy that marriage institution. And like I said, no man is an island. No couple are islands on their own. We need each other. I learn from your experience, you learn from my experience, and we pick, the best one that suits both of us, and take it home, and try to see how this will work. I just hope I can hear people, because I don't know. Something must have triggered that. Let's see. Thank God you guys could hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, thank God. Oh, if not, I would have said, I've been talking for almost an hour by myself. But thank God. Elder Adebenga, where have thou been?
Ah,
Eh?
th-
You just abandoned your sister here. Okay, thank you, Leslie.
that's not possible.
Hey, Elder.
That
Elder.
would
Oh,
that
thank
would been working.
you. Are you doing overtime now? Why?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
It is well. May God crown your efforts in Jesus' name.
Amen. Oh.
You're welcome to Inside. We have missed you. It's been a while.
Yeah. Even if I try to join, I at times when I finish listening, I'm already sleeping. So if I
Oh,
could just manage to turn off the phone, I
oh,
just do that.
that means a lot. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, just pardon me for that. But even listening to your build up is always insightful.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, so that's good.
At least you're the first in the box today, so we'll let you talk before sleep will come.
I know I'm actually active tonight, actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But still, you're still the first in the box. Except maybe you want Leslie to talk before you say anything. I don't know.
Well, Mr. Leslie is always like holding on, but I can give him the floor because I know he might start and still come back again to contribute.
Okay. Oga Leslie, you can
Yeah.
hear me. Okay, I see a call came in. Leslie, are you there?
Good evening. Good evening,
Evening.
panel.
How are you?
Where is our moderator? Woman of purpose. She's not here.
No, because she even still liked the thing I posted before, so I don't know, maybe one or two, and she might even have left me a message. Who knows? Because I'm using my
Okay.
phone now, so I don't know.
Okay. Well, this is a very good topic. I have to say, Monday's topic was fire. That was fire. I'm still. It took me.
Recovering.
It was hot. It
I know.
was hot. But I will start with this. I will start with my contribution with this. The Bible says that there's reaping, sowing and reaping.
Oh yeah.
What we sow, we reap. And there's seed time and harvest. And another thing that I've learned from God's wisdom is that we don't reap in the season we are sowing. It's very important that people know this. We don't reap in the season that we're sowing.
Yeah.
So sometimes some people in their sowing time, They don't take the time to wait through to begin to reap the harvest. Or if they are sowing things that are bad, they think they are getting away with it, but they're not going to reap it in the same season they are sowing.
Yeah.
The Bible says there's seed time and harvest. There's a reason why there's that time is between seed and harvest. It's the time. So we don't reap.
Time to reap. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't reap in the season that we sow. And the reason why I'm saying this is that this attitude of my way or the highway is a destructive. It is a destructive habit. It's a destructive attitude. And if one has not analyzed why it is destructive and why it needs to be worked on, they are going to destroy their marriage sooner or later.
Yeah.
But eventually, they will destroy their marriage, or they would damage the person they are doing their marriage with. The scripture makes it very clear that two are better than one, and a threefold cord is not easily broken. There's a reason why. Yes, the Bible says that the man is the head of a wife, as Christ is the head of the church. But look at the example of Christ. He laid his life down for the church. He did not beat the church up. When he's quoting the church in the book of Revelation, there's nobody slapped the church, beat her up, and all those things. No. Everything he does, he first and foremost lead by example, and he provides. He provides the love, the care, the attention, everything. So when correction comes, it is taken because he has been the model of love and care and attention. You know, so we need to understand that as men, that if we are going to have good marriages, it's important that we don't lead with a dominance. It could also be on the other side, and I feel, especially in today, if a woman is making more money than her husband, it doesn't automatically give you the right to dominate in the home.
No.
Before I got married, one of the principles that was shared with me, and it's not even just in church, this is because we did our marriage course in another ministry. In fact, it was in central London. We used to travel almost an hour to go there. But one of the things we learned is that in your marriage, everybody's a servant. Everybody's a servant. If you have that attitude, you will walk. You don't come home and now want to, because I'm CEO of my job or my whatever, come home and want to Lord. It's not going to work. No. This is why you see a lot of these people, quote unquote, who have a lot of money, their marriages don't struggle because they have not learned that in their home, it's a different environment. Your home is a place where the people you are raising, you should be safe.
Yeah.
They should be free to express themselves. It's not an extension of your business or your job or your career. Your home is not an extension. And you need to, and another thing that I think is important is that when people have that kind of behavior, they know who they do those things with. It's not everybody that can go around doing, my way, the highway. They make compromise at their workplaces. Even with their employees, they don't just do that. They have to be careful how they play those kind of things. So if they can accommodate and adjust themselves, why do they come home and now want to dominate and say my way, the highway, because I can get away with it? You're abusing your home ground, and when the harvest comes, you're not going to like it. You're going to make everybody not want to be around you, and that's the worst thing to do being a man, is to be on your own or alone. It's a bad place to be. So it's important that we don't have this attitude of my way, the highway. And it's not a weakness to compromise with your spouse. It's actually a strength that you can listen and hear them actively, not passively. You are actively hearing what they are saying and understanding what they are saying. Because when you are modeling that, you're also showing them how to listen to you as well. When you hear what they are saying, and show that you're hearing what they're saying and you have taken their point on board, I tell you, 50% of your trouble has already finished. Because you have made them feel secure that they can share and say things, and you are willing to listen. Look, that's the reason why God said that there's only one wife He gave to man. Because this idea that you want to have 2, 3 is a lot. If you're not handling one, is it 2 you can handle? Is it 3 you can handle?
I wonder.
So you must learn to be faithful with the one. And if the truth be known, we do it well. Let me tell you, one wife is more than enough. Well, as far as I'm concerned, though, it's more than enough.
Tell it to our African men. I'm sorry, but
trust me, I learned that in Nigeria first. is more than enough. So this might well the highway in your home, unless your home is battleground or war ground, fine. If you want to be fighting war every 3-4 months, fine. If you want to drive everybody away, fine. But if you want to have peace in your home, that is not a standard or a model of peace of my way, the highway. So it's important that we as men, especially as men, but even in today in our world today, because of dynamics and how things have changed, if you are a wife, you are making a lot of money making a lot of money, that is not an incentive to come home and now behaving like I'm the boss. You can't be doing boss everywhere. You need to take that boss hat when you come into your door. I don't care who you are, because what you are doing is that you're telling your children you do not know how to do proper conflict resolution as an adult with your spouse. And if we cannot be telling your children, don't fight, but then you're not showing them how you manage conflict between your spouse.
Example, yeah.
Yeah. We cannot be telling our children, don't fight, and yet you struggle to know how to resolve conflict with your spouse. Again, there's causes for that, but it's important we learn these things. Man with the highway will not work, and I don't care how much money you are making, whether you're a husband or wife. It is not an incentive to come back home and be dominant. It will not work. I can tell you. After a while, they will let you know that with your money, like Peter said, let's not be playing games. They will go. They will leave. Nobody wants to be insulted every time because you are making a few coins. You need to calm down. When you come home, take it off. You are home. Let everybody be calm and be secure. It's your home. It's not an extension of your business or your company or your career or whatever you are doing. We need to remember this. I will leave it at that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And good evening, my brother Adi. I haven't seen you in ages, so it's good to have you back.
Thank you very much.
Our elders are coming in gradually. Elder Debbie too is here.
Oh, Elder Debbie.
Our lucky day today. We are blessed.
Honestly. Good evening, everyone. Trust we have a beautiful day today.
We are, thank God.
And our host, we thank you.
Thank you too.
We appreciate the good works you're doing.
Thank God. Thank God.
You've said a lot, and I appreciate our brother Leslie for his contribution as well. You see, my way or the highway, that's a very, very big one. A healthy marriage relies basically on open communication. Oftentimes we hear repeated words because that is the goal, that's the aim. And it will keep on coming back to us. I appreciate the fact that you people notice I've not been around for some time, and yeah, through communication you registered that notice. That is something. We need to have mutual respect.
Yeah.
Mr. Leslie said, and also you spoke about compromise, which are the very key ingredients. And with all of this, we can have a very high level of understanding. I know of a couple.
Yeah.
The key ingredient in their marriage is communication. Honestly, they practice this sign language thing. Yeah. If the husband, the wife and husband, they always gaze at themselves, even in a community. Their eyes are on each other. They won't be beside each other.
I
Well,
get
the moment the man puts his hand on his ear, the wife already understands.
Did they hear me?
No, not in
I
that
said,
form.
no, just kidding. Don't mind me.
Yeah, and
Elder, are you talking in codes now? Is that you mean?
no, I'm not the one. I'm not the one.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I'm not the one.
Okay.
Understanding, a very deep understanding is needed.
Yeah.
That's okay. I can go back and forth for you. But when the woman and the man knows they are running the same course and they have the same goal to achieve, that would help them to propel their motion and their focus.
True.
When they have imbalance commitments, they can't achieve the purpose of marriage because their level of intimacy is not to that extent.
So of course it'll be affecting your relationship.
However, as we know, there are moments in any relationship where strong convictions and boundaries may arise. It's only natural for the both of them to come to
Let's keep tapping, please.
agree, to come to an agreement.
Yeah. That's deep.
It is the most important thing is to have a balanced commitment.
Right?
There is no perfect
Wording.
relationship or marriage. But what we can try to do is we learn to know that we can build and be committed to this thing every day. You know, the man can show the woman how best to be loved, and likewise the woman to the man as well.
Yeah.
With this understanding and great commitment to work it. Because it is one thing for you to hear, and the doing aspect is another.
Yeah, indeed.
So it is another for us to be willing to practicalize, to know that, okay, you should be, after good morning, goodbye at home going for work, you should be at work by 7:50 or 8 o'clock. I need to call and check on you or leave a message and await your response. It's a doing thing. It's only fortunate that that's the only institution you get certificate before even going into.
I know. You go and learn.
Yeah, because there is no anyway. There is no better experience in marriage that can be taught, because what you will find out and discover might even shock your mentor.
True. True.
Well, in a nutshell, it is important to stand firm on non-negotiable matters. Relationship flourish when both partners agree to work together as a team and avoid rigid. So may God help us. That would be my contribution for now.
Wow, thank you. Stand firm as well as being flexible when needed, when necessary, because all of these things contribute to how you enjoy your marriage relationship. Thank you so much, Elder Adebenga, and it's good to have you again on Insight. Thank you so much. Don't worry, I'm coming for my pocket money now that I know you're doing overtime. Yay! Oh, true. Let me clap for you now.
Oh shit.
Wow, guys, all those are fizzy. I've missed it. Oh shit. Oh my. Thank you so much for that contribution. I mean, we have to be flexible. We have to be firm. Leslie said something. There's a time and season to everything. There's a time for you to be flexible. There's a time for you to be firm. But if you come with that attitude, 24/7, my way or the highway, that highway, you might just be the one to go on that highway yourself. But I know that we're learning from one another. We're learning from this kind of talks so that we can do better in our marriage relationship. So thank you so much for that contribution as well. I'm coming to Minister Sarah. It's good to have you. Happy Thursday to you. And how are you today?
Happy Thursday to you as well.
Good
It's
to
been
have
a
you.
wonderful day so far. Just got up from work.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yes. So I was listening to the others that contributed,
Okay.
and basically I agree with what they're saying. Um, I'll first give a illustration of two scenarios that I found myself in. So with one of them, like they say, if a person doesn't want to learn to communicate properly, that means hearing the other party. There is always going to be a level of disrespect, as well as the communication is going to be, well, it isn't going to be a communication to begin with, because in order to have a communication, one party listens, the next one hears what they have to say, and then the other party will get their turn to rebut on whatever is being said. But I found myself in a relationship with someone that every time we have a discussion, it was always what they wanted. And it's like that dominance meant so much to that person that they could not see that that was literally tearing at every relationship that they had. Now, no matter how soft of a woman you were or how hard of a woman you were, it was a problem to this person, because they built up a wall. And I think that's what this my way or the highway does for a lot of people, and they don't understand it. And it makes them kind of like narcissistic, because when they do have time to think about it, let's just say they say, anyway, just go home, or I'm going, and they have time to like be by themselves and think about things. Some of them don't like to say sorry, but what they would say to the person that they should be apologizing to is sorry.
Oh, okay. I think a call just came in.
That was a phone call coming in. Like I said, they normally kind of brush it off and say that you are the. Can I give my submission later? That's my son calling in.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Minister Sarah. We'll come back to you. Thank you for at least starting off. I think I'm beginning to understand, her analogy, but it's okay. I think my next guest, Tunde Adeneye, I'm not sure if I've seen you here on Insight. We want to hear your views. If it's your first time, you are welcome to Insight. And after today, you're no more a visitor here or a guest as such. But all the same, we love to hear your contribution. What is your take about this topic? Or Minister Sarah is back.
Sorry about that. That
Okay,
was my
I'll come to
little
you
comment.
today in a minute, please. Thank
Okay.
you. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, Minister Sarah.
Yeah, so like I said, and with that, I noticed that I don't know if it's with everyone who have this my way or the highway when they don't like to negotiate or hear the other party. But like I was saying, when they do have that time to recap what happened, instead of apologizing, they blame everything on the other person. Like they'll say, um, things could be so good, but your mouth. And all that time, it is not you. But it's actually them that they're talking to, or they're like, we can have such a good relationship, but you don't like to bend, when it's actually they don't like to bend.
Oh,
And so yes. Or they'll say something like, I tried to reason with you, meaning you was trying to reason with them, but you're not hearing me. And it's very hard because then, like the other gentleman said, and that person that I was talking to you about, when the person was talking about, one of your panelists was talking about not bringing your work at home. When I would talk to that person on terms when we are cool, they would always say, even at work, persons don't like to work with me because they tell me I'm always so strict, so cold, and I'm not welcoming or engaging enough. And I find like I always have to be changing staff members, and that's from the highest to the lowest in my business. And I'm like, and he has had moments when the business was up and times when the business was down because of the same thing, people walking off the job or quitting or whatever. Now the other scenario is, when I was married, my ex-husband, he didn't really like to talk too much, but when we do talk, I could always remember him allowing me to voice my opinions, and to say whatever I had to say. Like, you can feel comfortable, and I think he got that because his mom and dad did that, and he felt as though anything that I brought to the table in relations to the house, he don't give any objection. Now, when it comes to things what he called manly, like the car and servicing the car, or his work or whatever, I don't get into that, or he won't allow me to, get to that level. But that was okay because we agreed on a certain turf, and it was at that negotiable level that, hey, you anything that deals with the home, if you want to bring it to my attention, we will talk it over, and whatever you says, go. Anything outside of the home, when it comes to my workplace, or me making sure that the car is running for you, or the yard is clean, things like that, getting you to and from wherever you need to be, that's that's on me. So leave that in my hand. And it worked well. And I think if a lot of people will not have this mentality of my way or the highway, be it a female or a male, because like one of the other panelists said, some women feel as though since they are bringing in the most cash, or they have that power, or they feel as though they have that power over their husbands, it's their way or the highway. But if you allow in any relationship to have open communications where both parties can set anything on the table, and you can both understand each other, and like some people like to say, agree to disagree, or even one party saying, I don't think that what you're saying will work, but just because you have so much confidence or faith in what you're saying, let's do it your way. And let's see if it can work that way. I think that it makes for a better relationship, and also for a better marriage. But before you even get into marriage, I think that persons should see these type of telltale signs before they even proceed to marriage, and put themselves in a place where, like the gentleman said, every other week you're arguing or fighting or whatever. If you're doing it before the marriage, then just don't get married to that person. Find someone that you can reason with and that can respect you, because the thing that men love is respect, and women need respect. Women love, and men, God ordered them to love their wives, because their thing is respect is the first thing, but they should learn to love their wives. And I think that if they love their wives, then they will respect her more and not have that type of mentality to say it's my way or the highway, but to treat her like a human being.
Thank you. Respect, and it goes both ways. It's not one-sided. Otherwise, that relationship is not healthy, or you will not get a balanced relationship, so to say. Thank you so much, Minister Sarah, for the example you gave. And like I said when I was giving my talk, sometimes, thank you, Mila, for the help me. Sometimes these people who have that mentality of my way or the highway, sometimes they don't know they even behave in such way. And like I said, they don't want to hear any feedbacks. You dare not question their authority or whatever it is. Some is as a result of their upbringing, their background, their life experiences that has led them to where they are now. But it would only take the one that loves you, your wife, your husband. When they say this thing once, I don't know, when they say a man or a woman is nagging, and we look at the person always nagging like you have issues, deal with it. Why would I say one thing a million times? It's because you're not listening. And that's where active listening comes in when you're in that marriage relationship. Otherwise, you're not listening, they're talking, you still do what you want to do, and then sometimes your way still will get you into trouble. And this trouble is not just on you alone, it's going to be on you, the wife, the children, and all that. So we need to be mindful. I always say, let us self-reflect as we talk about these things, because when you look deep and you tell yourself the truth, it will not be as bitter, compared to when others tell you. And I mean, if they do, because sometimes they might feel you're like that, they don't even want to talk to you. But we need to be mindful. If you want to enjoy that relationship, you cannot, have this attitude and think you can get away with it. Butterflies in your belly will disappear one day. Then what are you left with? So thank you so much, Minister Sarah, for that contribution. Tunde left because he said his break time was over. And I really wanted to hear his views. But thank you so much, Tunde, for stopping by. We really appreciate your coming by, and we hope to see you soon. I'll always come here on Mondays and Thursdays, 8 p.m. UK time, in case you're still out there listening. I look forward to seeing you again. So I'm going to come to Elder Debbie. Yay. Or the highway. So if I decide to do my way or the highway, does that make me a weak person? Do you think? So Elder Debbie, let's hear from you. This one that we talk to ourselves, whether husband or wife, friend or family. So this one cuts across and goes beyond marriage even. But like on Thursday here, we're focused on marriage relationship. So if this is my attitude in my relationship, do you think I would have come this far? Maybe, who knows? Elder Debbie, let's hear your views about this topic. And thank you for joining us.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Please, let's keep tapping. Please, 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 please. Thank you, Leslie.
Elder Adekoyega of the Most High God. We
Yes,
missed you. Where have you been, sir? Good evening, sir. Good evening, Mr. Leslie. Good evening,
Good
Minister Sarah.
evening, Sister Debbie.
Mr. Miller for Christ. Been a while.
I know, Mila. Good evening to you. Welcome.
Him and Mr. Adekoyega just decided that they will abandon us for a while, but
Yeah.
Not possible. Trust me.
God is higher than everybody.
I was looking for I was looking for all of you on Valentine's Day. I didn't see you, most especially Sister Debbie.
You had a lot
where
of
did
love
you
to
go
share
to?
for us.
It's not too late.
Of course now.
It's supposed to be Valentine's.
Wait, the love is
No,
always
that-
every day. Please send me the love.
Exactly. It's not too late at all.
After the meeting.
Lady Fumi, please pray for me.
After the meeting.
This love
Okay.
that is coming after the meeting is
No, yeah. It should be here. Don't worry.
After the meeting. After the meeting, how? We want it now. What do you mean, elder? You two elders.
That,
Okay, maybe we'll leave the elders to go and sort themselves. Yeah. Let's not waste time.
Elder Leslie will help me on this matter.
Oshe,
Okay,
good evening.
Good evening.
let's go to the. So you said if you are you are a person of my way or the highway kind of person. That's your question?
Does that if okay, so if not my way or the highway, meaning I don't do that or I don't have that attitude, does that make me weak? Because
If you are the
I want
person
people
with
to
that
look
kind
at
of
me.
attitude.
Yeah, if I have no, as in I think I've twisted that. Okay, so let me break it down.
Okay.
If I don't do my way or the highway, even though I really want to, but I decide not to do it, does that make me a weak person?
No, necessarily.
Okay, so you can take it from there.
And the person with my way or the highway does not necessarily mean they are a bad person
Okay.
either.
Okay.
It might just mean that they've not developed themselves enough to accommodate other people's opinion. Now, the only problem is relationship or friendship or any kind of relationship with such person can be very dangerous.
Oh.
Because you can lead all of us into danger if you don't listen to other people. So it doesn't mean that the intention is not right. It doesn't mean that you didn't think well of the other people. It's just that you are not open to accommodate other people's opinion. And that does not mean that's why I said that does not mean the person is a bad person, not necessarily a bad person, but is dangerous. That kind of relationship, with any form of relationship, this is not even just in marriage now. It can be work relationship, it can be friendship, it can be even family. It can be dangerous because there will especially in marriage, there will always be situation. I have seen marriages where when the man is talking, the woman dare not say anything. As in, it's whatever our daddy says. It's whatever our daddy
You have
says.
to say it like that.
Okay. My line of work deals with women.
Okay.
And it's a thing of, when you've done consultation, you've given this woman what will suit her body. It's not whatever you are giving her, it's not revealing, it's modest enough, it's classy enough, it suits her, it works for her body. After all the 1 hour, 2 hours that you have talked and talked, your mouth is paining you, this woman will now say, let me speak to my husband. At the end of the day, when they now speak to our daddy, oh God, our daddy will now pick the style that at the end of the day, it makes this person look. See, we are women, but we have different kind of frame.
Yeah.
No matter how beautiful we are different. So what suits you will not suit me. So by the time daddy will now pick style, me and my colleague will now look at each other, will be like, well, he's customer, there's nothing we can do. So, and that part of their relationship shows that that's how their relationship is on every aspect. We only see this dressing part, but if that is that strong to the extent that you can't even make a choice of yourself for yourself, rather, it shows that every other aspect it's not balancing.
Yeah.
And that makes it and this my way or the highway here is not just it starts affecting the person gone by himself. This person with this attitude, it affects their life. It's just that because they are not, I think it's not just develop, it's because they've not unlearn
That way.
what they've, it might be maybe something they what's it called, they inherit from maybe where they, how they grew up or something like that. Is how it has always been. That's how their dad, I've met guys that will say to me, oh, this is how my dad and my mom relationship is. My mom is always obedient to my dad. She respects every of my dad's opinion. She don't even question him, or she don't even, and that's the kind of thing I want. And I always thank God that God revealed to me where not to go. And I will just say, thank you, God bless you. There's no how you want to tell that kind of person, because they are not ready to unlearn. They are not ready to let go of that thing until some of them, until maybe something now happen, they've made their decision, something now happen that, God forbid, is not to their advantage, that makes them now think, oh, maybe, but that does not mean they will change. Oh, that does not really mean they will change. It takes somebody that already decided in themselves that, okay, this my way, or no way, it's not working anymore. Okay, let me change for the better. If not, yeah, it's not healthy though. It's not, it doesn't, that's why I say it doesn't necessarily mean the person is a bad person, but it's unhealthy being in a relationship with that kind of person. And it's as funny as you can't change them.
No. Unless they're
You
willing.
can't change, or unless they, God bless you, unless they are willing, unless they decide to say, okay, I need to change. And it's not just men, there are women like that too. This is not just men, there are women like that. It's just that it's a bit on the male side when we look at it in the marriage aspects. I don't know, maybe it's because of culture or something, I don't know, but there are still women like that too, even in marriage, that behaves this way. And if you are not in marriage with that kind of person, you will know the kind of marriage they have. If you relate with them, maybe at work or any other aspect of life, you will know. You can tell you can tell the kind of marriage, the kind of life they have, if you relate with them. So when it comes to this, it's not just a gender thing. It might be more on a particular gender, but it's not just a gender thing. It's just that it doesn't mean the person is a bad person, but it's unhealthy being in a relationship with that kind of person, because at the end of the day, you will drive all of us to the express road and trailer will now jam all of us together.
God forbid bad thing.
God forbid. So that, I would say, I don't know, maybe for anybody that is married to that kind of person, I don't know if prayer will work or anything. But for us that we are still on the road, may the Lord help us.
Amen. Amen. Okay, so if you're looking now, that's why I say it's always good when we talk about these things. I know on Thursdays we talk about marriage, relationship topics. That's why we're here today. But I mean, for someone who's looking for a relationship, and because sometimes maybe age is not really on their side, whether man or woman,
How do you give him TCP?
they start a relationship with this person and they notice this attitude. Would they now say, because they're desperate to marry, they will endure, they just go along, ignoring this red flag, or not even bold enough to address it whilst you're dating or courting this person? Is that healthy? Do you think if they can stomach it whilst they're dating, they will be able to stomach it when they're in the marriage relationship? I'm asking you, Elder Debbie, what do you think?
If you are a healthy person naturally, when I say healthy, I'm not saying you don't have headache, cause I'm saying healthy as in healthy in your mindset, in your thinking,
Yeah.
and you've grown yourself, you've developed yourself to some extent, You won't, because of age or because time is going, just choose anybody for the sake of it. Now,
They are
if
good in other aspects too, like you said.
yeah,
They are
but
not bad.
this one aspect that they are not good at can ruin a lot of things. It can ruin everything they've built.
Wow.
See, I used to know, okay, not I used to know. I know somebody, she's divorced now,
Wow.
that when she was married, they used to have business in this UK. They have they have shops. When I say people buy houses, they don't buy houses, they buy lands. And they'll pick the kind of house they want and they'll build it. That's how they were in the relationship, in their marriage. They have children. But every decision, now the business idea that built this wealth is not the man's idea, it was a woman's idea. But the man is stronger in nature.
Okay.
But this man makes all the decision. Never listen to the woman's opinion. Even when she say, oh, let's not do this kind of design. They used to, what do they sell? The bags, distributor. Let's not pick this designer. Let's not pick this. He would rather go for what he wants. And he's not the one with the business idea. He can run it, but it's not the one with the vision.
Okay.
Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
So he won't listen to her. At the end of the day, they lost everything.
Wow.
Let me just leave it that way. They lost everything. He ran them into debt. That now they don't even have those houses anymore. So it doesn't mean that this person cannot be good in every other aspect. But it even God, even when God wants to create we human, he said, come, let us. Come, let us. He's God. He can decide to create us without asking anybody. He said, come, let us. At least when he was saying, let there be light, he didn't ask angel, he didn't ask anybody, he didn't say, come, let us create. No. He said, oh, let there be light, let the water do this, he did all. But when he wanted to create us human, he said, come, let us, which means he said we can do it together. It's not just because I am the head. Yes, you are the head, but if the neck decides not to be stable, if the neck decides not to be stable, can the head stay? No. If one part of the body, since yesterday, thank you for the clap. Since yesterday, I've been having one kind of nonsense headache. Every part of my body refused to work.
Wow.
It's not because of anything. That's how God creates us. If we can look at even our system, our body work in partnership. So why will I open my eyes? I always say you ask your question based on age. And I always say to people that if you've waited till a certain time to be settled, to be married, don't let that waiting go to waste.
By settling.
That's why I said it on Monday. It's not the waiting, it's what you are doing during that waiting. If you are busy doing other things, building and everything, it won't be like immediately somebody come, you will overlook everything. Because what you overlook, see, this attitude of my way or the highway, it's not something that just starts. It starts like a baby. You go to the restaurant, they pick what you want to eat for you. You cannot pick by yourself. See, Lady Funmi, I have been in this dating pool. What I have seen. Wow. Even me, I know that if they are sharing certificates, by now I am a graduate. By now I am a graduate. I was discussing this with my cousin today.
You mean
I'm not joking. What I said, sometimes when I come back from some dates, I'll ask my cousin, is it that there is no more normal thinking people, or is me that is overthinking things?
My goodness, it's because you know what you want. You know what you
And
need.
this thing is as funny as once it starts like that and you accept one, it's a drop of water that will make an ocean. It will affect every other part of your life.
I know.
So why will I overlook? Some people, you are right, some people can be good in every other aspect, and that means if that part of their life is not working, that means that good they are good in every other aspect is a facade. It's not really genuine. Because if you are growing, you are not just. I was still having I said I was having a conversation with my cousin. It wasn't just a conversation. We were even arguing because I was saying, if you say you are developing your career, but you are living your spiritual life, you are living your finance, you are living your health, you are not developing every other part. What's the essence of the career you are building?
True.
And she was like, "Oh, what if she this other part?" I said, my God said, spirit of excellence means every part will be excellence.
Yeah.
Study to show yourself approved. It's not just one part, it's every part. So if that person is good in A and they are leaving B unattended to, you need to look very well. Are they really good in the A, or they just use it to cover up? So that's how I always advise my own people. Look very well. They are good, yes, they are nice to you, they gift you, they are attentive, but you can't advise them. They don't listen to you. It's only their way. Are you really sure they are good? Because it will affect all of us at the end of the day. It's not just them. I don't know Yoruba. There's something about there's one Yoruba that says something about Agidi or something like that. It's all of us it would affect. So since the thing is, because I know your decision will affect me and you.
Yeah.
It's either I don't start the relationship at all, or once I realize that, okay, I start praying to God to save my life. That's what it is. So I better not start. That's why I said it's not just in marriage. It happens in other parts of relationship too. It's just that the marriage one can be because it will affect the wife, will affect children, it can affect our health, it can affect our finance, and it's not healthy, Sha. It's not healthy. That's just my conclusion. It's not healthy being in a relationship with that kind of person.
Woo!
It can be very destructive.
Thank you. Elder Debbie, thank you for that. Hey.
That was a good one.
I love it when she drives it home, makes it as real as possible. And to those, especially in a courtship relationship, please shine your eyes, as my people will say, open your eyes to see what you know you cannot tolerate in marriage. Better don't tolerate it in that courtship now. And a broken courtship is better than a broken marriage. So you have to be honest and real with yourself. Don't just say, I'll manage. You will change, or you will change them. You don't have the power to change anyone, just like Elder Debbie have said, unless they're willing to change by themselves, and you can be there to support them through the change. Because it's hard, it's just like parents to children. The moment you say, don't sit there, don't do this, that's exactly what they want to do. And now this is a grown-up adult, you're telling them, why is it always your way? The more you're addressing that thing because they don't want to hear it, the more they're going to be doing their way. So unless they reflect within themselves to say, okay, this person have said this, that person have said it, there's something wrong here. I need to, sit down and think about it. I prefer a broken relationship rather than a broken marriage. Of course, Minister Sarah, I know. Because that way you're not really entangled with that person. Now imagine, and guess what, guys? Let me even shock you. Because I have seen, years I've heard a lot. This one I've even entered into my heart. I've seen a lot that, you started the relationship, it was okay. Nothing like that whatsoever. And then you get married, the first 5 years, you're okay. Do you know that because both of you are still growing, and sometimes some growth we see, they're not positive growth. And that's why it makes it hard to sit down and talk about certain negative growth we see in our spouses. And as I always say, come here, let's talk about these things on inside. Maybe after 7 years of marriage, you just found out that this person, when have they become this? We can't even talk anymore. Just say, we have to do this. We must do this. This is what we're doing. Out of the blues, when you use the phrase out of the blues, they just started behaving this way. If you check very well, something may have triggered that in them. If you check very well, if you're the type that analyzes things, critically, it could be as a result of a new job, and they have to be firm and all that, but they forget themselves, they get carried away, they now come home and say to their wife or their husband, we have to do it this way, we must, so things like that. Sometimes the first 7 years, you're living life is good, and bam, that happens, and you're already in that marriage. How do you now deal with that? It still boils down to communication, effective communication, because things happen. Some things will happen earlier in that marriage, some will happen later in the marriage, but whichever way, you have to deal with it in love, in patience, with respect and humility and all of those things, if you truly want to enjoy that marriage relationship. Because when you tell somebody you're not doing good, nobody wants to hear. They say the truth is bitter. So how you go about telling them or bringing their attention to this attitude, my way or the highway, it depends on you as well, especially if you didn't start off with them having that attitude. So I just think to share that as well. So I'm going to come to Mila for Christ. Thank you for your patience, and thank you for joining us today. Woman of Purpose, is she there?
Woman of purpose, woman of purpose, woman of purpose. Yeah.
Woman of Purpose, if you're there hearing me, you are welcome. I didn't even see her. Okay, now see. Oh, good evening. Hey, heart me. Now she fall my hand. See, I can't even vex. I can't vex like I wanted to vex, but it's okay. I don't know whether he left me a message, because my phone has been on silent and one meeting to another before in fact, here I had to quickly log off that meeting to start inside. I said, Lord, you will help me. Thursdays are always busy, trust me. But thank you, and apologies if you left a message, because I haven't read any message much today, I'm telling you. Oh, you're not feeling too good. Oh, hugs. Where is my kiss? Get us a view. This one will make somebody sick the more. It is well. So, this topic, God will help us. We need to soul search, self-reflect, and do away with it, especially when 1, 2, 3, 4 people or persons have addressed it with us. We need to check ourselves and make better, relationship to last longer. Otherwise, people will tell you, after a while, they see that you're not changing, or you don't even want to hear them. They will find a way to put you at arm's length, and from arm's length,
They say that's how they are.
that's how you are. Are you Jesus, the same yesterday, today, forever? If you're not Jesus, please don't use that phrase
No, me, I always say to people,
with me.
the Holy Spirit always, the Bible said, I stand by the door and I knock. If anyone open the door, I will come in. That's why I always say to my ladies, if he didn't change before you meet him, and you think he will change him, if he takes the Holy Spirit to stand by the door, even with all his mighty and all his power, to stand by the door and not budging, hello, you cannot change anybody.
Oh no, don't even try. Do not even you will wait. Let me not say what I'm about to say. But thank you for I hope you're there. I see the thing is gone paused or whatever. So I'm going to bring my puzzle, actually. Let me bring it here before we have the 3 other people.
Hostess, I want to make a quick point.
I thought I said I had headache.
Okay, yeah, Leslie, go ahead, quick.
I want to make a quick point. What there was something Mr. Sarah said, and it was about when such a person when they are doing my way, the highway, and then something doesn't go right, they will kind of like almost like put it back on you, like it's your fault, or they will say they will be saying certain things that is really themselves, but they are putting on like they're projecting.
That's psychology in a negative way.
It's a classic case of where something has gone wrong. It's they that did it, but somehow they want to spin it and make it look like it's your problem. And there was something that Debbie said, it's not even just a marriage, it's even affecting people's relationship attitude, especially in the workplace. You see that quite a bit, such damaging emotional, just an emotional deficiency in such a person where, they demand to have their way. And especially the higher up they are, the worse it is. And if people enable that behavior, that's why you see certain celebrities, high profile people, they'll be doing something for a very long time. And people will keep asking why. And it's even because they just look at probably what they're producing. Maybe they're bringing money, but that behavior goes unchecked because they're enabling it, they're covering up. There's a lot of covering up until somebody one day that thing they say it and they find that somebody is not willing to take that kind of behavior and they report it, and all of a sudden a cascade of things start to come out. So it's something that again, I love what our as David said, that yes, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but I will say it's destructive in marriage. And the reason why I'm saying it is destructive in marriage is because oftentimes, especially in marriages, a lot of things can be hidden. And depending on people's personality and just maybe things that are going on at home, this is why you see some people, they will stay in a bad marriage for a long time. It's because there's so much dependencies built in that it's almost like, what's the point? But what I've noticed, if the wife doesn't, if it's happening to the wife, I'm speaking from that perspective where the man is the one doing it a lot, and the wife doesn't, correct it or do something about it or go and get help for that situation. What I've seen is that oftentimes the children will eventually start taking sides, or they become resistant. They develop a kind of attitude where as they get older, it starts to become a reverse situation where they start doing it as well. And that's what makes it so dangerous and so destructive if it's not corrected. And so no matter what they are bringing to the table, no matter how much money they're making, that kind of behavior, it is destructive. When children come into it, they will begin to act in that way. And unfortunately, the parent that's doing it either will compromise to allow it, or they becomes a standoff, and it is not a funny situation. I've seen situations where such children, when they are in such a situation, even when they leave the home, if it's not corrected, they continue that pattern of behavior.
Even worse.
Yeah, and it's worse, much worse. So that's why I say it is a destructive behavior. It is a very destructive behavior, and it happens to people across the board. Whether rich or poor, but it happens to people across the board. And oftentimes it's people, the person that thinks they have the more thing going for them, or they have a strong personality. If they're not getting correction or counseling to deal with it, unfortunately, these things go on for a long time. I just want to say that. Thank you.
Thank you. Then the cycle goes on, and these children go into the society. Imagine two couples not dealing with that, and they have 4 children, and those 4 children pick up on this, and they go 4 homes is affected. Imagine. So we need to be careful and be mindful. Hey, when 1, 2, 3 people addresses certain thing with us, we need to pay attention. Let your ego and pride go, because if they don't love you, that's when they won't say these things. It's out of love that they even manage to say. And I bet they've been holding on for years. They don't know how to approach it and all. And they now manage to say, please mend your ways or something. Pay attention to that, because otherwise you might lose that relationship altogether. Yes, it goes. Yeah, it does. So then the children suffer from that parent. And no. So a lot of people who are adults now doing that, of course, it came from somewhere, and their parents might have been long gone, and now this is their reality, and now they're having issues in their marriages because they fail to address this, or they feel it's never been a problem. Why is it you always having issues with that? If you're my boss at work, of course I'll do what you say, but when you're home, you're not your wife's boss, so you cannot bring that into. Anyway, I'll leave it there. So I'll give us my puzzle for today, and then I'll come to you, Mila, for Christ. Yay! Thank you so much. So my puzzle for today, where is that? If I can find it. Let me scare us. No, it's easy, this one. So I fly without wings. I cry without eyes. Wherever I go, darkness follow me. What am I? I fly without wings. I cry without eyes. Wherever I go, darkness follows me. What am I? If you know the answer, please tap it in, or if you're in the box already, just unmute and tell us the answer. You get the ooh, woman of purpose. Ooh. I know you're not your spouse's boss. Yes. So what have you just put something there? I don't know what that emoji is, a woman of purpose. I don't know what that emoji is, so you have to tell me. Somebody beats you to it. So what do we do now? What do we do? Look at everybody. He's the first person. So, woman of purpose, you've made it difficult now. You're supposed to type the answer, but you put emoji. Because what if some people don't know what this emoji is about? So, Elders Forum, Elder Benga, Elder Debbie, who do we give the prize to? Let the elders decide.
The first two people are right.
Okay.
But there was a contemplation that somebody used an emoji
Okay.
and somebody else they typed the word.
Okay. So.
And there is also a third party who came in after her.
No. It's bad enough we're deciding between two people. Don't bring the third person in.
You asked for the elders' advice.
Between the two. I didn't say
Were you not following the elections in Nigeria?
this
What
is
happened
Nigeria.
what happened in Imo State?
We keep it simple and real, bros.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All of those, okay, let me not use that word, happened then. On inside, we keep it real and simple. So there are two people we're contending. I mean, they're contending now.
No, there are three people. If you look at the timing, the messages drop. If you want us to judge, we should consider that.
Now,
The real judge has appeared. Let us listen to her.
Do you think the person that dropped the emoji gave a clue to the person that typed it?
Okay, you know what? I'm even scrolling back. Let's get our facts right. Woman of purpose.
Exactly.
Wait. Thank you, sir. She came with emoji, and then the next person was CJ. He wrote a cloud, and then woman of purpose is the third person that came back to write cloud. So there's no third anybody. Elder. Don't let us dis-elder you.
Yeah, but woman of purpose dropped an emoji, and then there was a message after, which Mr. Leslie dropped, and Mr. TJ Dairo's message came in, which means woman of purpose. I'm not saying woman of purpose gave TJ Dairo a clue, but there is possibility that we got the clue from woman of purpose.
Please give me my donut.
Well, in a nutshell, you people just hijacked
share your gifts when they gift you. Woman, this is who supporting
you people just hijacked the topic from me. I am still here to
be silenced. Give me my donut.
Listen,
please give woman of purpose a prize.
Give it away. I'm too tired to fight, so give it away. Give it away.
Also, this person is meant for us to calm down.
Woman of purpose.
It's the only purpose.
I will stand up and fight for my rights.
You know that.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
You know, on a good day, woman of purpose will run away from.
It is not okay. I want my donut.
Run away from puzzles,
you know, woman of purpose will.
Okay.
You know she always run away from puzzle. This one that she did this by herself. Please give her the gift.
No, you pass the power to me and Debbie, and woman of purpose is the winner.
Elder, both of you could not decide, so it's coming back to me, the host.
No, I decided from the beginning.
No, you know what?
I decided from the beginning that
my way or the highway.
Your way or the highway. Go, boss.
You've given us the man.
Please, can we
This thing is meant to.
Can we drop the host from the box?
In fact, Elder Debbie, I love you too much to dis-elder you. So you guys have not even listened to My Way or the Highway. My Way or the Highway. Since you two elders, both of you are not on the same page right now.
No, well.
I am on the right side.
Oh, yeah,
Woman of Purpose is our choice.
Okay, let me hear. What have you both decided?
Woman of Purpose.
It's unfair.
Woman of Purpose.
It's unfair to put them in that situation. That's what I say.
Okay, I hear you. Thank you.
Now you are learning.
Let me share my highway with you because it gets as it be, as my people will say. I was planning to give both of them the gift at the same time, as in two sets of gifts will go out. So TJ will get his. I mean, Woman of Purpose will get.
If you are doing that, you have to extend it to everybody that commented on the puzzle.
Elder, where's your box?
Elder,
right?
Elder Dedbenga. Elder Dedbenga.
Anyway,
It won't be nice that they drop you from the box. So.
Elder, I'm still coming for my pocket money. Don't think because if I drop you, I'm upset. No. So that's okay. One more for Woman of Purpose. Thank you so much. Thank you. And then TJ. See, TJ, I've been asking you to come and talk since you've not answered. Now it's puzzle. Hey. It's because I'm in a good mood today. Let's just give you your donut.
Thank you.
To remain in a good mood.
Okay. At least you're here now. If you drop, honestly, you just see me dive in and come to carry you out. Thank you so much. So it's a cloud that flies without wings, cries, it brings water without eyes, and wherever it goes, darkness will follow, and then rain is about to fall as well. So thank you.
Do we have more puzzles like this one though?
No. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. That's enough for a lifetime. This one is enough for today. Don't worry, the next one I'll bring will be a tongue twister, so everybody can try it, and as many people that tries it, they will get the gifts. How about that? See, they went quiet on me. It's okay. It's all right. Thank you. So I'm going to come to Mila for Christ, then I'll come to TJ, and then we'll probably call it a night. So Mila, hey, God will bless you, brother, for your patience. Let's hear from you. What do you think about this, My Way or the Highway? What is your take about it? Do you think if I decide not to do My Way or the Highway, people will look at me as weak? What do you think? My Way or the Highway? Mila for Christ, I am waiting. Let's hear you, sir. Don't go quiet on us, so. Mila, are you still there? Because I can see your network is balanced, no network shaking. Okay, maybe I'll come to TJ and then give you time to, I don't know if he's sorting something out there. So TJ, whilst you're here, please let's hear. I noticed you've been there for some time, so at least you have an idea of the gist. Good evening, long time.
Well, My Way or the Highway is giving dictator vibes.
Oh.
Right. Everyone has a right to their opinion, and everybody has a choice. You can't force anyone to. I guess you can if you have some sort of power dynamic over someone, but it's still a form of abuse of power.
Okay.
People should have a choice. If you're dragging people down a path they don't want to go, number one, you've got to realize that you're not going to get the best out of them.
So we're talking about marriage relationship here, mind you, for today on Insight.
Yes. So I mean, in the context of a marriage, we have this whole thing about, okay, a man should lead, but when you think about leadership in itself, leadership is about influence. It's not about forcing people, and positive influence on someone. And leadership is also about service, and leadership is not about self, it's about the collective, right? So if you're making a decision you're not talking to a tree. Your partner is not a tree. Your partner is not someone who hasn't got a brain or who don't have the same choices that you have. You've got to find a way to bring them alongside and explain decisions to them. We're not talking about a toddler that can't make a decision for themselves, right? So your partner is your peer. They're not your servant. They're your helpmate, your partners in life. So and it takes two, really. The Bible says, can two work together except they agree? It never said, can two work together unless one gives gives the instruction. It takes two. It takes two to make things work, right? The Bible says it takes two to get heat. It takes two to do a number of different things the scriptures tell us. So I don't believe. I believe that leadership is important, direction is important.
Yeah.
But I think you even if you force a horse to the river, you can't force it to drink. So my way or the highway always ends up in a marriage going down the wrong path. And you just never get the most out of it. It always comes back to affect another area in the marriage. But some people say, oh, we don't want to run a democracy in a marriage. But in reality, if you find yourself in a boat and two people are steering in different directions, they're steering their oars in different directions, you're not going to go anywhere. So if you're interested in making progress, then it's important to explain and give people the choices that they want to make. However, sometimes the right choice is obvious, and to the person who's suggesting it, I may not be obvious to the other person, even though it's the right choice. In that kind of situation, you've got to exercise patience until the other person comes on board. I can imagine that it's difficult if you know that a decision you're about to make will save the family, and even though you're thinking about the collective, but the other person, your partner, isn't on board with it. What do you do in that kind of a situation? You can't just force things down their throat. That's where you need wisdom. That's where you need to be creative and find ways of getting your point of view across and helping them to see the bigger picture.
Yeah.
It's my view, really.
Thank you.
Do I get another donut?
I don't want you to have diabetes because of sugar. We're dieting now. We're doing that. So let's not. That's why I gave you flour instead of.
Speak for yourself. Me, I'm not dieting.
Now so. Thank you. Thank you. So I hear from you. We need a lot of patience. A lot of patience in this regard, because sometimes. If you don't have patience, there will be war. So God helping us really in terms of a marriage relationship perspective. If this attitude is in there, everybody has been saying it. I don't think anybody has said if this attitude is there, it's going to be long lasting, it's going to be joyful. Elder, give us this whatever you're eating, share with us now.
Oh, sorry.
It's so late.
I'm back.
We can feel it, even though we can't see it. Share now.
I'm back.
Okay, Mila,
I'm
you're
back.
welcome back. Thank you.
Yeah, my supervisor came around, so I went to sign for him.
Work. Thank you so much for jumping in.
No.
Thank you for all this love. Thank you. But still, let's keep tapping, guys. We're supposed to beat 50K on Insight. So how come we're not even doing as much? And I don't like to hassle us, but please, elders, you're eating with one hand, be tapping with the other now, please. So Mila, please, thank you so much. Let's hear your views about this topic as we are getting ready to round up for tonight.
I came when I was not here for the first time, but I only saw your topic. My way, or the highway. So make me to understand this my way, or what it stands for.
Okay. So it's like, is it a metaphor now they call it? it's like in a marriage relationship, of course, we know, you and I know, man is the head, woman is the, but now whoever, it could be the man, it could be the woman, saying anything they want to decide or anything they want to do, it has to be my way or get out. Like, not get out, but my way
Okay,
or
okay.
kind of a thing. So, do you feel if a man decide, okay, I'm not going to do my way, let's sit and talk and agree? Do you think that man will be looked as a weak man? Do you think
No,
so? So,
no.
you can start with that, or whatever your views is. Let's hear it.
Sometimes it does not matter whether as a man you are the head of the family. Yes, you are the head of the family.
Yeah.
That one is for sure.
Oh, okay.
The way our African culture puts it, you are the head of the family. Well, you discover that sometimes, as the head of the family, your wife may be intelligent than to you. The
Oh.
idea your wife
Coming
brings
from a man,
may,
that is huge. Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah. So the idea your wife may say, you may be the head of the as the head of the family, you may want to do something maybe that will be of benefit to the family, and your wife will sit down and say, ah, sweetheart, and to me, the way I see this thing, it will not work. Then, as a good husband or a good listener, you will now want your wife to talk to tell you, okay, how is it going? Tell me why you say this thing will not work. Then your wife will now give you maybe say, this is why I say this thing should not be done, or this is the way it should be done. The way you put it, I think it will maybe cause something or cause damage. So, like the way me, I feel like I know more about this thing than you. Let's just go the way I choose. So, as a good husband or a good listener, who always to listen to what the wife will say or the partner, whatever there may be, I think he will accept the will of his wife for things to get better for all of them, because not everyone know how, not everyone is intelligent to carry out family issues or how to make the family better. Sometimes women, that's why they call women our helper. The area you feel like you cannot handle it or you cannot do it well, you say, you can call your wife whatever names you feel like calling her. Say, sweetheart, see, I know I am the head, but this thing, I don't know how to do it too. If you know better than I do, please go ahead and do it. And those things like that make the family to succeed very, very well. So you shouldn't be the man alone as you're the head of the family. You may be the head of the family, but you cannot do anything. So, as the head of the family, let your wife respect you as the head of the family. But those things you know that you cannot do, allow your wife to handle them and do it better. So, that's my own thing.
Amazing. You see, another perspective. It boils down again to communication. Know your weakness, know your strength. We're supposed to complement one another, not compete with one another, you know? Hold on,
Okay,
sometimes.
spirit of Trump here.
Huh?
Someone says spirit of Trump.
TJ, what do you mean by that? You have to explain, no. We don't want to assume, oh. We don't want to assume we know what you're talking about. Oh, wow.
The Holy Spirit explain it to you.
Don't come and bring promotion here. Maybe just a sentence or two, because I'm looking at the time.
No, I mean, again, I think everything's been said. You don't. It's more like I said, the first statement I made was giving dictator.
What do you mean by that statement you wrote in?
And what do I mean by the statement that I just made? Spirit of Trump. Trump is perpetrating a few things around the world right now. It's more like my way. I mean, I watch a few things on TV. A press conference I was at, trying to sue. I think it's the governor of Maine and he was saying that it's either you do what I want to. He isn't gonna release federal funds for him. And the guy was like, no, I don't agree with you. And said, well, if you don't agree, I'm not going to release federal funds. That's more like a bully, right? And you, I mean, you're not going to get the best out of people trying to bully them into what you want. It's got that narcissistic sort of thing to it. So it's really important that don't try and bully even not even the wife. We're not even talking about your partners, even your children. They get to a point where you can't just say my way or the highway. Not to mention your wife, your partner, who is supposed to be your support. Who, I mean, nobody can see every angle to every decision they're trying to make, and so you've got somebody there they can leverage on, who can give you a different perspective. And so I'm totally against it, and I also like what Mr. Miller said, which is sometimes your wife is stronger and can make better decisions in certain areas, and it would be silly to just assume that you're the only one that holds you're the epitome of wisdom. It's just not it's a very, very what's the word I'm looking for? Myopic way of seeing relationships, right? So I think spirit will cast out every spirit of Trump in this place. Hallelujah.
I understand though, Helen. It's just that I wanted him to come and explain to other people so that I will not be using my words for him. So he's done just that.
You want them to come for me, eh? You want
No, they can't come. I'm here. They can't come for you. No way, nobody. They never born them, as my people will say. But thank you for that explanation. I mean, just like we're saying, and it cuts even across or goes beyond the marriage relationship. Even if you're a boss at work, at some point you employ these people. There's something they're bringing on board, and if you keep shutting it down, you might just be shutting out on profits for your company. So even in family, when everything is it, you don't my way or the highway or and then something happen, is this same family you still have to call. They will still have to call on you. So why do that? Why spoil that relationship? And then we want to eat our cake and still have it your way or the highway, your way. And then when trouble comes with that your way, you still, just like who said, Minister Sarah, you still be pointing finger that is somebody else's fault. Meanwhile, is your way. We decide to go your way, and now it didn't work out. Who else would you blame if not for if not yourself? So these things, no matter how we see it, is a lot of manipulation there, a lot of control, and that cannot work really in a marriage setting. Even if it worked for a while, what is coming ahead, you might not have the capacity to take it. So thank you, Tunji, for adding that. So Woman of Purpose, we're going to be ending with you today. Your submissions, we want to hear you. What is your take? My way or the highway? I've been doing this all night, so I might as well carry on.
Well, I think I've been writing in the comment section anyway.
Yeah, I've been seeing.
It's not a good attitude to have as a human being, to be honest with you. It's not going to lead to anywhere positive. And in the marriage, you're just restricting the other person. You're not listening to them. And then are you going to be willing to accept when your decisions don't work out that it's you that made them? No. And I think you just put the other person in a very difficult situation when you don't listen to their opinions or what they have to say. I mean, it can be a very frustrating and toxic environment then, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, even in your workplace, if you have a manager that's like that doesn't listen to you, you feel restricted. I mean, it can get to a point where you come home all the time feeling frustrated, and it's not a happy environment. So having that in your home can even be worse. I mean, just imagine it will be even more worse. So, I mean, I think in life,
can such people ever change? Ellen is asking. Well,
yeah. I mean, I think if people, to be honest with you, I don't think those people do not know that they're being like that, because I'm sure somebody. Because when people are like that, I don't think they just do it at work. I think that's just their character, and they tend to do it everywhere else. People.
Sorry, Woman of Purpose. I'm just thinking now. There's this clip I remembered. I'm just thinking, if nobody challenges that attitude in them, they will carry on. They will just carry on. And if it takes just one person to even challenge it the one time, maybe
That's
the
it.
attention will go to it.
That's
But
it.
because nobody challenges them, they feel
Nobody
it's a
do.
way of life.
Yeah, but the thing about people like that, like somebody was saying, is the attitude of someone who's a bully. They tend to always take that kind of jobs where or be in positions where they are in that high status where they have power over other people so they can control them. You know, that narcissistic behavior. They know how to control and they get themselves into roles like that. So it makes it very difficult. But like you said, if no one challenges them, they think it's okay because it's like, well, no one's complaining about it. Even
Exactly.
as a partner, if you then challenge them, they will be looking at you like, why are you challenging me? Everyone else like, I'll do it here, I'll do it here. No one says anything, you know. But hopefully when someone challenges them, it might be enough for them to kind of think and say, this thing's not getting me. And I think most of the time people like that do change when people then carry on like calling them out at it and they keep happening. So like for example, your wife will say you go to work, somebody else will say you go here, somebody else will say, and it will start like you said, if 3 or 4 people are saying the same thing to you, it's time for you to stop and pay attention to what people are saying because there is something that is you know you need to draw attention to. So I think definitely, but it will take a long time for someone like that to change because it's a personality, it's an attitude that you learn, and to unlearn it, like you said, it's not like it's a bad thing, but you can change if you really want to, and you have to make that decision within yourself that you know what I need to change for my life to be better. But I can't believe people can go through the life being like that all the time and just keep getting away with it. I just can't because it's not healthy. Everywhere you are, people will not
Hello,
like you.
everyone.
Hello,
Hi.
and good evening. You're welcome.
Good evening, FunmiRoyal and the group.
Hi.
Evening. Good to see you.
Hi.
Hi.
Well, sorry,
People,
woman of purpose. You're gonna, yeah, go on,
yeah,
please. Thank you,
people,
Helen.
yeah, people will not like you, and people will be butting heads with you. And those kind of people, you know, they get isolated. They feel like the whole world is against them, but actually, they don't realize it's them making it difficult for people to get on with them because of that attitude of
That's
is it that what
true.
I say? Yeah, what I say and what I want. I think, like somebody said, in childhood and stuff, when you notice your child is, you know, in a bit like that, strong headed and this thing, you have to sometimes call them and say, you know what, sometimes you need to see the view of other people because if we don't challenge them at that child age, at that, you know, they grow up to become adults are like that and then bullying everybody and controlling every situation. But you don't need to. And I think it must be exhausting to be like that too as well. It must be exhausting. You know, you always think you're right. You don't want to listen to anybody else's view, opinions, or nothing. You know, and this life we are societal, and you know we're supposed to listen to one another, share and you know burden. You know how you gonna share burdens with your wife or your partner when you it's always about you. How? And then you probably feel frustrated because you're like the person's not helping you. But how can they help you when you want to do it your way and your way is all in your head? They don't see it that way. So you're just putting them in a very difficult position that they're never gonna win. To me, it's just toxic and it has to be addressed. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. It's amazing how far we can, open up this topic. And just like I was saying, we need to self-reflect. We need to self-reflect. There's some issues that, like they say, the truth is bitter. There's some truth we don't want to hear, but we still have to hear it if we want to be better people. Because I want to be better than what I am today. So yeah, bring a bit of criticism. I know I might not take it well. I might even not talk to you. I might be angry, but I'll go back and think what this person said. I mean, that's how we're going to process things anyway. But as we're speaking, women of purpose, I was just reflecting in my mind. If someone keeps doing that and keeps getting away with it, people around them are indulging them, and they might feel they're all that. So they will carry on. They will even bring it full force because nobody has challenged them. And they feel everybody is applauding them. Oh, they've done good, they've done well, and all of that. Maybe, just maybe in your work relationship. But when you bring that to a marriage setting, a marriage relation, you're looking for trouble. No matter how soft spoken your wife is, no matter how patient your wife is, no matter how more tolerant your wife is or your husband is, one day you may not like the way they will break out and and just handle things because they've been bottling it, perhaps silently hoping that this person will see what they're doing and change. and then before you know, 5 years is gone, and it's like it's getting worse. Perhaps you're even a believer, you're praying, maybe God will touch this person, and then you dare not talk to them because one time you tried to say to them, my dear, it seems this Third World War, World War III happened, and this person is not like, I love my peace. Let them just go. At least they're making decisions, and then one day you would wake up from that sleep. It's like a dream. One day you would wake up, and then you realize you've done 12, 13, 14 years like that, and then you now want to challenge them. They'll be like, what has changed? You haven't complained all these years. Why complain now? It's worked for us all this while. Why now? So even you that you're indulging them, you're not doing yourself any favor. So whether you're the perpetrator or you are the victim or whatever, you have to speak about these things. Do they want to hear it? No. Would you say it? Yes, regardless.
But do you know what I was gonna say? This builds up resentment, and sometimes, for example, in your marriage, like when no one listens to you. Let's say that person then maybe loses a job or become somehow their life changes, yeah, and you now, as the person they don't listen to, is now in charge. This is when the other partner will now be like, okay, when you were in charge, you didn't want to listen to me, you didn't want to this thing. Now I'm gonna do my way or the highway. And then it becomes a cycle of toxicity. Everyone is taking
Too wrong does
stuff.
not make a right.
Yeah,
Oh goodness, that's toxic. No.
that's toxic. So we need to be careful. We need to be careful. We need to respect our partners. We need to respect their opinions. And if somebody has a different way of thinking, use your words. Effective communication. Try and show them your views and your perspective. And if still you think that your way is the right way, say, what, I'm going to try your way, or I'm going to try this way. Let's try this way and see how it goes.
Compromise.
That's how you negotiate. Compromising. Yeah, you can't go into any kind of relationship and not compromise. In this world. How can you live a life of not compromising with other human beings and to live on this earth? There's no way. How are you going to survive?
At all. Thank you, woman of
This love of a thing, no, is not an easy thing.
Mila.
Sometimes, if I was young then, I used to, when I used to be young, if I had known, say, I would have said, let me just be a priest, or let me be like one of the apostles who decide not to marry and face the gospel. Yeah, see, it's not easy sometimes, but
this topic,
marriage is beautiful.
I know marriage is beautiful. It's tough, and one thing that
let me bring my story here. Thank God you are aware of what's happened. What I called you on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
But after that prayers, after narrating what happened and everything, so I was like, every day I will wake up, I'll still continue to pray. I met this lady. We started talking, and we've not started this relationship for up to at least 2 or 3 months. She said this is what she wants in the relationship. I was like, okay, tell me, what should that be? I accepted initially, but I sat down and said, what kind of thing is this now? Before I would come to life, or maybe have normal chat or join a group like this, I should let you know, or I should take permission from you before I would do that. The initial time I was like, okay, to show that kindness or love and respect, let me do it. I started doing that. Every day she will accuse me of cheating. Every day you are chatting this woman. Every day you're doing like this. Every day you're doing like this. To a point, I was like, what's going on? He said, okay, let's join that place together and see if I'm doing such thing. Remember, there was a day I said, I'm bringing someone. Yeah, I want to introduce you to my partner and like this. My dear sister, every day I will face one kind challenge. You see, you are like this, you are a cheater, you are a fake, you are a hypocrite, you are like this, you are moving, you are chatting. And I will chat that, I will make a screenshot and show her this is what I and this person discuss about. She will still accuse me about it. Okay, one day after I called you to tell you, I still call another of my friend in US, a lady, and told her, look at what is going on. He says, see, you cannot, it is the sign that this woman will be an issue to you. You better work out. You don't need God to come down and tell you this thing will not work. You can't, okay, for if I want to pray for someone or someone seek advice from me, the challenges he or she is facing, and maybe after telling that person what he should do, she will chat me back and say, see, it's like you have interest in that lady. That's why you're advising her not to stay away from something like that, and to stay away from her relationship. There is nothing I've done. I've done everything. I did everything to show her that, see, I'm not that kind of person. One day I wake up, on Valentine's Day, after that time now, we were still talking. On Valentine's Day, you know what she did? After posting what one app from TikTok that says, where guys will come out and say, on this Valentine's Day, we are not going to give single ladies, our ladies, anything. We are not giving them anything. Do you know what this lady did? She came back. Why must I come back? Why should I go to TikTok and say that I am not single? That thing I posted showed that I am looking for another woman. I'm still searching for another woman. I started defending myself. I defend myself. I was like, hey, my sister, wake up. My elder sister, don't know even what was going on. My elder sister, after some days, she called me on phone and said, Cosmas, this lady you showed me, my spirit didn't accept this lady. Forget where she came from. Forget whether she's white lady or this like this. Any woman that will stop you not to preach the gospel or to have your freedom, you better walk out. My spirit said I should tell you this. Earlier, the better you wake up. Don't take because of the beauty, because of this and that, and make someone to rule your spiritual life or whatever. You better wake up. I still pray over it. The next day, I say, God, please bring if this woman is for me, bring us together. But if she's not for me, let there be confusion, let there be issues around, and not be small thing. Now, so accusation they come every day, every day. I say, well, thank God, I've heard what you say. She wake up one morning and say, okay, you are a cheater. I'm not interested again. She blocked me. I said, okay, no wala. Thank you. Thank you for blocking me. But well, if you say you're not interested, after again, she will still unblock me and still send me message. Say, who are you chatting? Okay, she said she blocked me and she's still seeing me talking to people. I said, you blocked me and you don't want me to talk to another person. What kind of crime? What did I do? You say you don't want. Allow me to talk to another person. So we have to be careful sometimes and listen to your spirit. Like I think Debbie says something there. They say it would have been better you have not started that relationship than to start. It becomes an issue. Or than to start that thing and it becomes an issue. It's better you're just on your own. So let's just be careful and always listen to your spirit. Always listen to people around you. Don't just take decision on your own. You feel like you're a man or you can just decide and live the way you ask people question. Look at what you're going through. Look at what will I do? If 1, 2, 3 persons say the same thing to you, walk out. Or if you like, you stay in. That's what I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Mila, I really appreciate you sharing that.
Let me add a bit.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Let me thank you for allowing me to come in. Woman of Purpose have said a lot. Everybody has said a lot, but what Woman of Purpose said, she hit the nail on the head. I asked a question, says, can such person ever change? Is it their personality? Because things like that happens, and it's very difficult for them to change. I think a broken boy will always end up to be a broken man. If a person with that kind of attitude cannot get it corrected while he was young or while she was young, it will be difficult, because it's a lack of understanding about relationship. Is that person refused growing up, that person cannot reflect, and there's no amount of words you want to say to such person. They always think he or she will always think whatever they are saying is the right thing. And it's always in a relationship, it will always end in resentment, because it will get to a point. I think somebody mentioned that maybe because somebody was tolerating it. You get in a relationship, you get to a point where you said it, you try to bring out the point over and over, and it's causing argument. It will get to a point where you just say, I can't keep myself. Particularly when you have been in the relationship for so long. Children has involved, so many things have involved. Then you are thinking, okay, let's see whether there will be a change. And many years has gone and there is no change. So at a point, you just let it be like that. Or the only power you have, the only control you have is that wherever they crash, because such person will always get a point where they will crash to the bottom rock. Because there will be some decision that they will take that will backfire, because they will not listen to other people's correction. It's like somebody is going to walk into a well and you're trying to correct the person, and he said, no, I know what I'm doing, I know where is the right road, I've checked it, I've looked at it, and he doesn't want to look at the other person to put contribution until he or she falls in the well. Then he will not know that, yes. But such people will always repeat it over and over anyway. So that's why I was asking that question, would they ever change? Because if you can't change when you were young, it's difficult to change when you've grown. It has become your personality. It become part of you. You don't even see it as bad thing. You don't reflect over it
at all.
You understand? So that's what I'm asking. Is it a personality?
Look,
Can such people ever change?
thing that I can say is, and I'm saying this in all honesty, not all of them can, but Jesus, I believe, can make a difference. If they have an encounter with Jesus, he will turn things around for them. He will renew their mind. So whether they have personality or no personality, when the Holy Spirit hits them and breaks them down and remolds them, they will be a new person. However, this one is not a common thing, if you get me. Sometimes even at that person needs counsel. That person may need to go for behavioral therapy. That person they have to work on it, because imagine they were 27 and now they encounter Christ, they want to change their ways. They will struggle a bit if they don't have support. So people can change, but not in all cases.
Sister Fumi, you'll be shocked that as a counselor, you will be shocked that when you see some couple, you'll be shocked that they are Christian, that we can say they are really, really rooted, and you still see such behavior.
They're not broken, sis. There's no two ways about it. They are not.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, that if they cannot reflect, it's like a pride that has been rooted within the soul of a person, that even when you speak a tongue, you still have that behavior. Sis, and you'll be shocked that you see couple like that,
you
so
want
we come for
counsel. Sis, imagine you want to uproot a 27-year-old tree. You want to uproot it. And if you don't touch every root, it will grow back. It's just a matter of time. So who has the
So
capacity or ability to uproot everything other than Christ?
yeah, but the thing is, it's not in the hands of somebody who want to help you to uproot it. It's you yourself.
That's what I'm saying.
that
They
is
have to be broken. Yeah.
yeah, they have to know that they have that issue. I have this issue and I want it to go. But such people with this character that we are describing, it's like they don't even know. They believe what they are doing is good, or what she is doing is good. They don't believe that they have something that they need somebody to help them with. If you understand?
I just want to say a couple of things.
That's why I was asking that question, that can they change?
Yeah. I hear you. Yeah.
I just want to say one or two things.
Yeah.
We all, to a certain degree, in various, different degrees, carry childhood traumas. We're a product of our environment, and I believe very strongly. A lot has been said. There are different categories of people. There are people that know the source of their trauma, but they can't snap out of it, and they need help. There are people who are unaware of the impact of their trauma on them, and they've sort of figured out a way to protect themselves, from the impact of the trauma they've been through, and they also need help.
Yeah.
I agree with the fact that in order for you to change anything in your life, you need to realize that there's a problem in the first place.
Yeah.
And that's why
That's right.
And that's why some people don't have the capacity to even see that, because they can't see beyond their noses. It's not because they do not desire to change, but they don't see the problem.
They don't see
And
it
that's
as
why
a problem.
they don't see it as a problem. But this is where, to a certain degree, counseling and sometimes the right advice helps people to point them in the right direction. And Pastor Fumi, you said it, pretty well. There's nothing that Christ cannot change. But also, in saying that, the other side to that is people need to accept the help that's available in Christ as well.
Yeah.
Right? So there's that initial decision that they need to make. But if you can't see the decision, how do you make it? If you can't self-reflect. But ultimately, for someone like that, I think the best thing to do is just to advise them.
Intercession.
We need some intercession and intervention, really. And in order to intervene with someone, you need to be in their trust space for them to allow you to be able to even speak to them. So Mr. Miller might not be the right person to speak to them, but if you know somebody that's close to that kind of a woman, who can just have some frank conversations, who have got their trust, and just suggest things to them, because people are not bad for any reason, right? Sometimes it's just a traumatic past.
Yeah, it stems
that
from
as
somewhere.
yeah, for the most part, yeah.
Continue. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I just wanted to say. Yeah.
TJ, see, there are some people that can't stop, whether maybe in their past, maybe what they have gone through, maybe lack of maybe the experience they've gone through. You understand? No matter how you talk to them, even if you come to counsel them and say, see, this thing, you need to move on. There are people, no matter how you talk to them, they can never leave the bad experience.
I agree, but how do you know those
You understand?
people? How do you know that the person you're speaking to is that?
Exactly.
See now, you don't know them until it's happened. The same thing happened to them. They tell you, based on what has happened to me, I feel like this person is like that. And you don't sometimes like
Mila.
you're saying, so ma?
No, okay, carry on. Let me let you finish.
Okay, like we're saying, if someone, for example, now, if I come to you and maybe you come to me, you say to all this thing I'm talking about you is I'm innocent, with evidence on top of it, you're still accusing that person. No, I don't. Maybe there is another way. Someone will say, close one of your TikTok accounts I closed that account. What I'm telling you, that's why you even say, Cosmas, where have you been for a long time? Okay. And a friend of mine says, see, don't close the account. What you should do is this. Give the account to somebody. Since you have about 6,000 followers, that's the account. And I remembered my brother was there who was asking me he need TikTok account. I said, okay, give me that, your name with your wife. I changed their my name to their name and give them the password. Forwarded the details to this lady. She still accused me like it's not true. Maybe I want to use it to be chatting.
I think it's an issue of insecurity. If it is not a control, if it is not a control,
Sorry,
if it's
Helen,
not a
that was why I
control,
wanted to cut in. Mila, you remember when we talked? All
if it's
of
not a
Yes.
control,
are
it's
the things
security.
that
So I've done everything to prove to her. Someone who's okay, put your profile, put my picture on your profile. I did. She's still
Sir,
accusing
you're
me
not
of
the
all
one
those
to
things.
unlock her. You're just not the one
You're
for
not.
her.
I'm telling you.
And there might be somebody out
Yeah.
there who just needs to speak a word,
This
and that doesn't invalidate you. You understand in any way? Just as sometimes we have kids, some people have children that they can't. Sometimes you're trying to get a point across to your child and you can't, and somebody outside can get that point across, and it will shock you that you've tried everything that you can. So, but don't beat yourself down on it might not just
Remember, one of the things I said to you is, from what you said to me, this person has a lot of insecurities they're projecting on you.
Yes, you said so. Yeah.
So
You say
it's
so.
beyond you, Mila. The only thing is you can do for this person, just release them and pray for them. They're not for you. And you don't need a
You know
platform
what?
to
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
that.
I do even
There might
invite.
be for him, Sister Fumi. I had
This
somebody say
season.
pastor. Yeah,
Not in this season.
yeah. That lady just need to heal first. Maybe after healing, she might come back to be for you. But at this moment, she needs to be healed. It's two things. If she's not
it's too fresh.
doing it as a control, because we don't know exactly what is happening to her.
She's doing it.
If she's not doing as
She's
control, then it's
okay.
insecurity. And if it's
She's doing it as a
insecurity,
control.
if it's insecurity, then she needs to heal three
Past
things.
trauma. She's brought her past trauma onto
So
me.
you, yeah.
And the thing
She's
is,
doing it as a control.
exactly,
You understand?
because
So imagine if I want to come to if I want to talk, I'm coming. If I want to come to here, and I will still even tell her, come, let's join this group and hear what they are saying on how marriages should work. She will say, how am I sure you're not talking to another person there? Before you go
it's
anywhere,
trauma and
I must
insecurity.
tell you. Understand?
It's
So
that.
I've done everything. I just
It's not control, it's trauma.
Nothing you can do
It looks
to
like a
control that
control
person.
on you, but it's a trauma
exactly.
that is affecting her.
This person is traumatized. She's not getting help. She doesn't even
well.
think she needs help to start with. I mean, there's so many things Mila didn't say here, which I know, and I can say to you, just like it's as a counselor. That's why I said I'll speak to you as a counselor and as a Christian counselor. So either way, there's a whole lot of issue with this person that they haven't dealt with or they're not dealing with. And there is no amount of you preaching to them. You see, it's just like a person that is a drunk. And until they say, hey, I think I'm a drunk, I need help. Otherwise, no matter the intervention, no matter the whatever, you're just wasting your time.
That's
And you're
right.
talking about a 2-3 month relationship. That's too much. That's full on traumatized already. It's too much. And there's a way you communicate with someone, and over that 2-3 month period, you said your word. Let your yes be yes, let your no be no. And it's like they're not even hearing anything. It is their mindset is what they believe, all this assumption of you. And no matter how much you try to convince this person, if she doesn't see it, there's nothing you can do.
She can't even see it. Even if she comes to this platform every day with you, she can still see a loophole to still accuse you. Because she's still not well, she's still not healed. She'll still see
She's
loophole.
still raw in her trauma. She's still very, very raw and sore.
She accused me every day. I was like, do you know what I used to? I said, see, you need the Holy Spirit in your life. I've told her. I
She
told her
needs you to
several.
leave.
Eh?
You can't
She
stop.
needs you to leave.
No,
Like I said,
you understand? You need the Holy Spirit. I told her, I said, see, you need Jesus. You need Jesus to heal you.
sometimes, Mila, sorry to cut you, as a man of God, so that's why you need the Holy Spirit yourself. Because sometimes this person, all they need from you is prayer, support, and to help them grow in their faith, not necessarily a relationship. So you have to have discernment of spirit to know how you come into the picture with this person. Otherwise,
Do-
I know you're looking for a wife. I know what. Who knows? It might be through her you might meet your wife.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Mommy, listen now. Do you know how many times I've invited her to come? Let's join. Let's pray together.
No
She will tell me,
ready.
no, I want to. Yeah, you say, see what she will tell me. See, I will join you. I want to join TikTok. I want to join where they are doing. If she still maybe after leaving that place to join my prayer or maybe my preaching, you know what she will do? If people are saying, maybe calling me brother, oh God bless you, oh God bless you, she will say, who is that person? Why is she? It's like under there,
Mr. Miller, you run the risk of
under
being
there.
traumatized yourself
I'm telling
Exactly.
you.
if you don't
No,
step back.
I just brought the issue. I just brought the issue for we to also, understand. See, look at what happened. Look at what happened to me. Look at how
Thank
that
you for sharing.
I've gone to so many people to say, see, this person, you need to let her go. You understand, so that you not go and cause problem for yourself, or maybe one day you just be together at home sleeping. That's how you just hear one thing on your
She's
side.
like
You
she's like
understand?
somebody who's drowning. She's like somebody is drowning,
So
and
that's it.
she will pull you together.
Yeah.
In fact,
Exactly.
she's not
So
And I
supposed to be in a relationship at the moment. She
At the
needs to go
moment.
and be working on herself first to get
and I
help.
go back to the first thing you said, Mr. Miller. The first thing you said is that, oh,
yes.
I wish I'm not married, I'm a priest. So you yourself, you're getting traumatized. So leave.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. Please.
Similar to
Maybe
what
not
I said.
anymore.
I'm just using that as no. But to me, if while I was growing, it would have been better. Self, I go to. You just let me remain brother
Mr. Miller,
or
no, I don't
whatever.
want you to have that mindset that because this is happened this way, maybe marriage is not for you, or maybe it's better to just be alone. This thing, you cannot make that decision like that. If not, you might just burn, and before you know, you fall into sin, and that will not be your lot. So this thing, you really,
Mr. Miller, start running away from women, oh, all you people.
I can see
when
you,
you meet your wife
DJ. You
and you
funny.
fall in love and things are okay, you come back and change that statement. Trust me. But all in all, you need discernment of spirit at all times, especially when you're a
I
mature
receive.
man trying to find a relationship in this century. You have to be careful. Let God guide and direct you, especially being a man of the cloth or man of God. You have to be careful. You know how these things happen. We've seen stories.
Yes.
Even sheeps will come in. Wolf will come in sheep's clothing. All sorts. You need to be careful as well. Okay.
Exactly.
All I'm saying is don't close your heart to relationship and don't feel frustrated about relationship or marriage just because maybe the last few or couple have not worked well. God is preparing you as well, and I trust that God is preparing your true wife for you, and in His own time,
Amen.
He will make you meet your wife and He will make things beautiful for you. That's our prayer for you.
Amen.
Yes. Listen to
Mr.
the
Miller
red
Amen.
on
flags. The red flags are
Mr.
there.
Miller on Mr. Miller on a slightly softer tone. This platform is a God inspired platform. You never know who you will meet on this platform. So please just
Exactly.
keep joining us here.
Who knows? That woman, no, I nearly said something, no more.
That
That
woman.
woman is waiting. Who
That
knows?
woman.
So
That woman
you
might be
just
on
keep
here.
praying and preparing yourself. Work on
Amen.
yourself. self-reflect on yourself, the things you need to work on, so that you're a complete man of God when this person comes, and you will complement one another and not compete or traumatize one another. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amen. Amen to that. I don't know, somebody
Amen.
is joining. Kenneth, I'm going to ask you so that you can just speak for a few couple of minutes as
Are
we
you
round
sure?
up.
You're laughing.
It is well. It is well. I know these things are real. These things are happening. And that's why we're here talking about it. So that we
Indeed.
can live a better life. Things are happening. Some things, in fact, some people, the way their spouse or whoever it is have shocked them, they've gone a bit, up there. And they've been institutionalized.
That's
But
right.
for me, it's not a bit. Oh. They've gone beyond.
These
It's not a
things
bit.
are
Oh.
happening. It's happening by the day. It's happening. So we can't afford to shy away and not talk about it. How do we move past it? And if we're the one in it, we can. I believe strongly that there's no man that cannot change. But whether they're ready for that change is another thing altogether. But there's always help available. Kenneth, I don't know how much you've heard. I don't know what you want to say, but on mute. Thank you for joining us. You'll be probably there's no other new person. Sorry, Helen, have you finished your submission before I?
That's right. Yeah. Just yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Let's hear from you, Kenneth. Let's hear from you. Good evening.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, host.
Thank
First of all, I just want to appreciate you for the good work. Thank you very much for bringing out this topic, because a lot of us are going through this drama, but nobody to share it to. But thank God that you bring out this topic so that we can learn, because there is a situation that I was trying to settle during the week. It's just something like this. That's why I take my time to listen each and every one of you, to appreciate you as well, the host, for bringing in this topic. Say may God bless you and everyone that is on board there. God bless you. I don't have a lot to say. I just want to appreciate you and everybody on board. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that. At least I always say that it's not about the quantity of people here, but even if it's 2 or 3, 4 people that one is able to reach, and they will sit down and think and reflect how they can live better, do better based on all we have shared. It goes a long way, because that cycle, if you don't deliberately and intentionally cut certain thing off, it will be there, and we'll pass it on to our children like that. Where does it end? Where does it stop? So it's on you, it's on myself, wherever we find ourselves, to be better and help people around us to be better. At least let this world be better in within our own capacity, and God helping us. My way or the highway can never be the way. In fact, I don't know what else to say. It can never be the way. Let's be mindful how we treat people in our lives, especially our spouses. Like here on Thursday is about marriage relationship. And you'll be amazed. My sister Helen was attesting to the fact that some people have lost their mind just because of the way they've allowed their spouse in, and they've taken over their life. Their totality as a human is like they're a shadow of themselves. Why? This is not God's intention for marriage. Marriage is a beautiful thing. Marriage is a good thing. Marriage is meant to complete us, not to tear us apart or make us lose our mind or make us lose ourselves as an individual. Each person has been uniquely made by God. And when you meet another unique person, my goodness, you should be super ultimately unique together, and not all of these things we're experiencing. And guess what? We'll trace it back to childhood trauma, we'll trace it back to experiences, our background, and all that. But in it all, where does it end? On you, it's on me to say enough is enough. My father lived life this way. I grew up that way. I refuse to live that way. I refuse to carry on life like this. The choice is in your hands.
That's right.
Again, whatever relationship we find ourselves, I'm just rounding off so that we can all go to bed. Whatever relationship you find yourself, what you will not accept, do not dish it out to whoever it is. Please, you don't want me to dagger you? Do not dagger me, so to say. Because sometimes reflex, somebody wants to hit you, your reflex would have even punched their head before you realize that they were trying to remove fly from your head.
Yes.
Be careful how we treat one another, especially husband and wife. If only you guys can see the secret in marriage, you will find out that two of you, there's nothing you cannot overcome, no matter how bad it is. As long as you speak the same language, you communicate with one another, you respect one another. It's both your ways. I'll read the last bit that I gave when I was giving my talk today. My way or the highway, it's not something that should be said whether from a husband or to a wife, but let us seek the best way together. Instead of saying my way or the highway, say let us seek the best way together. You're in it together. Even when you say my way or the highway and they go along with your way, you will both get into trouble. So why not sit down and say, let us seek the best way together, God helping us. On that note, I'm going to love you and leave you guys. Everyone, thank you so much. Mila, thank you. Kenneth, Debbie, Elder, woman of purpose. I hope you feel better, my love. God bless you for me. Don't worry, you're in good hands. Minister Sarah, thank you so much for your contribution. Helen, thank you so much for your contribution and for joining us.
Thank you. God bless.
Leslie, we didn't take it up to 20K, but I still love us. It's all good. It's all good. Thank you so much. And TJ, he's dropped off. Thank you. Elder Adegbenga, thank you so much. I see Sunday, you're back. Oh, are you able to say anything, please? Please.
Don't worry, next year by God's grace, Monday, we'll try and make it 30,000.
We'll make it
try
50.
We'll go for 50.
We're supposed to
Yes.
talk our 50,
You know, if
remember?
I'm here, we would go to 30. You know me.
Yay.
Don't worry.
You know, I was multitasking tonight. That's why I'm working on kids' night, everything.
That will take you to 20, but we did this. But it's okay.
We'll do 20. We'll do 20
We'll
now.
do 20. Hold on, don't go here. I'm tapping.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. We have to grow. Help me, please.
Yeah.
Help
We
us.
will grow. We will grow. In Jesus' name.
Thank you all so much.
Lord
I
has
really appreciate every one of you. And my prayer is that God will continue to lead us and guide us. And guys, we too, let's not allow pride. Let's not allow ego. Let the Holy Spirit break us and remold us so that we can be the best version of us.
Good night.
You all good night. God bless.
I think this is what attract me to your platform, because this is what it's Facebook I normally use. This is similar to what I did, but I added mental health to it because I'm also a mental health nurse.
Oh, okay. I'm an integrative counselor as well as a Christian counselor. So I'm like,
even
I'm a mental health nurse too.
Yes,
even me, I'm a Christian integrated counselor as well.
Oh wow!
If you look at my platform, that's the thing I put there. I'm just trying to build my platform before I start the work. Okay. So I think that's what attracted me to you when I saw your platform. I said, "Wow, this is resonating." So yeah.
It's an assignment God has given me, and I know His grace is more than sufficient. So
that's right.
I'm grateful. So thank you. Nice
look at that.
you.
20K, you see? I told
you. Where's my wow? Wow?
God bless you. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye.
The gift as well. Thank you. Yay. Thank you. Let this light that's within me shine to the whole world. Thank you, Elder Debbie. Thank you, Kenneth, for stopping by. Thank you. I really appreciate you. God bless you. Good night, everyone. See you on Monday.